Good morning, everybody. Simon and I here, and we're going to be bringing you live feed for the next 12 hours. How cool is that?
It's amazing. Yes, it all starts here. The start of this year's SUP 12, live from Broadsands Beach down here in the wonderful Torbay area. Switch of venues this year, but crucially, we're about to get started.
So I'm going to flip the camera around so that you can just see how many paddlers are here. Good morning, Sarah. We will attempt to say hello to everybody. We're going to flip the camera and yeah, we'll see you on the other side. There we go. Look at those paddlers. 100 approximately. We're not sure the exact number yet. We don't have the start list just yet. But there were 101 paddlers registered. So we might backtrack and then run down the line, Simon. Yeah, yes. You up for that?
I think
you
so.
Up for a bit of pre-race exercise? There's young Kevin Jackson there from Wales. So he's competing again. We've got Sarah Perkins and Andrea, who've recently been in Italy. Sarah winning 2 silver medals at the ICF World Ranking event. Shall we wander?
Let's do it. Let's do a walk.
And we hope you can hear us. The wind is not too bad today, so we will just keep, just keep letting us know how it is. Yeah, good morning. We're live, everybody. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Say hi, we're live on Facebook. They all look super keen. There's Kaz, she arrived very, very late last night. She's been doing some... Oh. So we're just going to wander back and let them get their photos. But look, amazing. All the beach huts, all the boards, all the paddlers. It's going to be fab. So good morning, everybody. Yeah. Amazing. So yeah, good morning, Adrian, Katie, thanks for watching. Kelly, Philip, Sarah.
So, if we can all turn around and look to the cameras on the beach.
Maybe we should do that as well.
Your big smiles!
So, look at the conditions.
Okay, we'll be starting in 30 seconds!
Okay.
30 seconds start.
30 seconds and we're off. Just like that. 10 minutes ago, there was, I don't know, looked like Panic at the Disco. It was people bringing boards, people popping to the loo, people trying to find their trackers. And within a few minutes, they're down on the beach and they are ready to go. So let's go and get down by the water and we will see them off. So it's a 7 o'clock start, but they don't have to start at 7 if they're not ready. It's not a race start. They can start whenever they like. They can start at 10 o'clock in the morning, but obviously they won't get as many laps in. So you ready for the long haul, Simon?
I'm definitely ready for the long haul. Here we go.
5, 4, 3,
Here we go.
2, 1, go!
Woohoo! What a sight. And first up, you've got Bruce and PJ. And there is a prize for the fastest lap. So last year, I think someone really went off hard for the first lap, just to get that speedy lap in. There goes Andrea. Who else have we got? We've got so many. Yeah, we are looking forward to... Actually, we don't need a number list because they don't have numbers on, Simon. I've just realised that.
Well, we'll just have to rely on our native wit and cunning, I guess, as usual.
We are going to have to just ask them, look at this weather, it's beautiful. We're going to just have to ask them as they come up the stairs, what's your name, where are you from? Because we've got an amazing list of paddlers' bios, which we'll talk about later. But, they do, some of them have a number on. Maybe they do. Okay. There goes, on the starboard there, Leanne Bisson. She is otherwise known as Pinky Paddles. She's come down to get stuck in. Karen Greener, Bruce's partner, is not paddling today. This is not her comfort zone. She really doesn't like it. And she said, what's the point of doing it? you know, she's just made that great decision. It's lovely to be able to say no to things. They've got a week's holiday, and she's supporting Bruce today, and he won't have to worry about her. So isn't that a great sight? Last year we had 27 paddlers. This year about 90, and off they go.
Absolutely incredible. And it's a race for all types of abilities. Obviously it's supported, we've got support boats out there. The conditions are looking pretty decent. Hopefully the wind will drop fairly shortly. It's not too dramatic at the moment, but you can see the red 10.6 is going out there alongside all of your elite boards there as well. So it's a day for participating, enjoying paddling,
and not getting our feet wet.
Avoiding getting your feet wet within the first 10 minutes, because that would not be a good start.
And you know, I haven't even looked at the tide, Simon. Have you? Do you know, it's been the sort of least of our priorities. We're on this beautiful flat beach. The tide looks like it might be going out, but
yes,
we're going to look it up and see what's happening.
I mean, certainly it's a longer beach for the beach run for the transition. Shall we just show people the transition?
Yeah,
way,
okay.
It's a bit different from last time.
Yeah, we're going to be the paddlers. So as Simon said, the water is a little bit further away, so they will have a hefty run. And yeah, it is going to be tough. So that 3.5k that they paddle, they then will drop their board here. They can leave their board on the beach. We've got amazing board butlers, and then they will go this way. So up here, walk with me, Simon. So we are now the paddlers. We've got off our board, we've left our board there. Hopefully remember to take our leash off rather than
If
not.
not, we're dragging the board with us.
We're dragging a carbon race board or a 10.6 red up the beach. So we come up to this little bit. Now this is interesting for some paddlers.
Yes.
Of a shorter stature. Someone's found a nice little, this would be really hard for me actually, because I don't have that upward lift. So this is where they have to come. There's a timing mat. So up a step, holding on to Simon's hand. I guess this is the timing mat here. So they're not allowed to dither over the timing mat. No going backwards and forwards. Up we come.
This is the surf sofa.
The surf sofa for Simon and Sarah.
That's right. So this is where we'll be watching people's faces as they
Yep.
come up and recording their faces for posterity.
And then we hang a right.
And all of this now is
Let's have a little look, shall we, what people have got. Healthy, not so healthy. Let's have a little look.
slightly
Nice.
intrusive. We've got some inspirational messages here.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
some inspirational bananas there.
This person either hasn't gone or he's forgotten his buoyancy aid. So let's hope he's decided not to do it. And then we come across another little sort of camping area. So we've got shorties here. They have produced all the tech tees for the race. The tech tees look amazing. And some great kit actually that you can buy to support the event. So hoodies, t-shirts, we'll take you through actually and you can see. So the paddlers, look out there. Isn't that amazing? What an amazing sight. All out. Looks like some have reached the buoy. We're reaching the buoy right now. So it'll be interesting to see those quickest laps. So check out this kit here. This is not where the paddlers will be going, but I just have to show you.
T-shirt, obviously in various sizes. All the merch is available via Shorties.
Yeah. And do support them because there's Mark, Mr. Shorties. Good morning. So this is where the paddlers will come. Now some will run, some will walk, some will stop. So they have the option to do any of those things. They can either treat it like a race. Oh, now what have we got here? We have to deviate here.
So more on Oscar Propulsion a bit later on.
There is Mr. Oscar Propulsion. Good morning, Duncan. We are live on Facebook.
Oh, good morning.
Oh, well done, well done. So we will be chatting to you later. We're just doing a walkthrough, showing people where the paddlers will go, but we just spotted these on the way. So
I think it's rather important because we walked past one of the most crucial refuelling stations over
oh,
there.
actually, yes, we need to backtrack. So here we go. Bay's Brewery beer, which is for the paddlers later. This is not a
during.
transitional stop.
Yeah.
So Duncan, we'll speak to you later.
Oh, I just spotted something as well. This is the famous chair here. So this was made for Brendan, and it's one of those craft shop programs. This was made for him by a friend of his, and it's quite a wonderful piece of workmanship. There is Sarah just modelling that. It's absolutely stunning, and obviously that's his logo, and the idea is that it's with a sort of surfboard. You've got the threaders running through there, so wonderful piece of workmanship. And as we continue our walk, so again, more feeding stations. Someone's very organised with a table and all waterborne there. That's obviously people who've done this before. We won't be too intrusive into their the content.
Stop people diving over the edge.
Yes, there is a health and safety danger here, so you don't want to fall off that. We've got a tent. It is quite windy here, and obviously if it's raining, which I'm not sure whether it's threatening to.
There's a lot of stuff that's going to get wet here.
And then we just run through lots and lots of people here, and then back.
Oh, now I know where the people are paddling. Can we just backtrack? Jill?
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
People not paddling, why is that? But it's because you're in a relay.
Yes,
isn't
that's
it?
right, yeah.
So we're
yeah.
live on Facebook,
Oh,
so
hello.
no swearing, Jill.
Try not to.
And someone who will be watching is your good friend Kristen.
Yes, she is. Hi,
She's always
Chris.
she's already checked into our Instagram
Has
live,
she?
so she
Yeah.
sent you a big hug.
Oh.
And she misses you, and hug from Australia. So,
Oh, that's good.
do you know how the relay works?
Yes, yeah, so I've got that into my head. So Julia's, her time stops when she clears that time mark,
Okay.
and then we swap over time, and then we go down there.
But you need to swap your chip
You need
as
to
well.
swap the chip as well. This time stops, which is quite good, because then we'll have a little bit of a debrief almost.
Okay.
You know, what was it like, what to watch out for. So
Yeah.
that's good in that sense.
Brilliant. So, have you worked out when you're going to swap? Is it just when someone gets tired, or
We're
do you
going to
have
do
a
lap at
plan?
a time, lap at a
Okay.
time, yeah, and then
Nice,
see how conditions are and see how we
both
see how
feel.
we both feel. Yeah, went out yesterday for practice and I struggled quite bad with the wind that was out
Okay.
there.
All
So if
right.
this wind picks up, that's a little bit my concern.
Yeah.
But
You and many others.
yeah, and I thought, God, that was windy yesterday, and the board was like going way across that way. And I thought, no, I want to go that way.
But you're not. I'm guessing you're not a sea paddler. Where do you paddle?
I paddle on the sea, yeah, North
You do
Sea.
paddle on the sea, don't you? Actually, yes.
Yeah, on
Julie
the
was
North
talking
Sea,
about
yeah,
that yesterday.
with the Bay time
Yeah.
now,
Okay.
and that coastline.
Okay.
So we're used to the sea, but I guess it's just the wind's always
You choose to go out when it's not raining.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, yeah. We will take that safe.
But everything else is perfect. Everything
Brilliant.
else is
We'll have a
perfect.
wonderful time.
Thank
we wish you the
you.
best of luck.
Yeah,
We'll be cheering you on, and we might
that's
talk
nice.
to you later.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Bye, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Bye bye.
Brilliant. So we work our way down. This is a slightly more forgiving exit point, but these mats need to make sure that they make a solid contact with their tags on, because otherwise there's the risk that it doesn't start the lap. And there we go. That's where we've walked so far.
So look where the paddlers are now. They're going across the bay, and they will actually disappear round that headland to another little bay. There's a yellow buoy there. They'll turn and then they'll come back. So I can't remember what the fastest lap was last time. Was it something like 17 minutes or something?
I think it was, but I think that was sort of slightly compromised by the fact that the size of the course changed during the course of the day.
Yeah.
So about halfway through, I think there was a change in the size because the conditions weren't conducive. So that sort of slightly confused things. So I think this year people will be those who competed last year, if the course stays the same size, they will be doing potentially less laps than last year.
Yes.
But the kilometres that they've fulfilled will be more accurate, certainly. And just to say that all of the timings are online. There's an easy access to it through supfmpodcast.com/SUP times. But I think you have put the link in all the channels, haven't you?
Oh, I'm not sure I put them in all the channels, but I certainly put them in the Facebook Live we recorded last night. So the last Facebook Live on the page. If you look underneath that, there is the link. But it is
supfmpodcast.com/SUP times, so plural. So that's your fail safe, but you can also access it. I think there's a link on Brendan's site on Above Water, SUP 12, and if you have any problem getting to it, then please leave a message in the chat, and
we can
sort something out. We've got 12 hours to sort something out for you, so we will attempt to do that.
They're on lap 1 at the moment, so you don't need to be tracking them. We're tracking them. And the other thing is, if you are watching this and you'd like to share it on your Facebook page or on any other sort of Facebook pages that you may be linked to, like SUP Racing UK, I think it's called UK SUP Racing, or any local Facebook pages that you belong to, we'd really appreciate it, because we think people would really like to watch this format if they haven't seen anything like this before. There are a few of these events now, aren't there? This one was inspired by Last Paddler Standing, which is held in Florida, and Brendan competed in that and came home and just wanted to create something same but different, really.
Yeah.
So we'd love it if you could share any of this, or tell your mates to watch it. Tell them to give us a like and a follow, and please do follow us individually, because Simon here, if you don't know, produces a cracking podcast, which is, you talk to some incredible people, not just paddlers, but interesting people who are involved around the water, don't you?
Exactly, water and safety and so on. We've got all sorts. New York Times best-selling authors. TED speakers. I can't remember what I say in my intro, but it's all true. It's all true, and we've got more to come. And really interested in the whole sport of SUP, not just racing, expedition, safety, mental health. So there's lots there. 100 plus episodes, and of course we've got the SUPjunkie.UK channel, and it's so good that we're there, because Sarah unfortunately had a bit of an issue with your old account, didn't you?
Yep.
So you're still rebuilding the numbers.
Yeah, and it's a slog. It's a slow burner. It's really tricky. It was just something that happened. So, and unfortunately the old page is still up there. So do make sure you follow the correct one, which is SUPjunkie.UK with a new logo. Look, whoop whoop. We'd appreciate that as well. We'll get some more followers from this event for sure. But it's a slog. It happens to people.
It's a slog, and of course, just to continue the theme, and it's not all about us, but we will get lots of energy from you. If you've got any questions that you'd like to ask during the course of the day as we go, then that keeps us going. And thanks for the thumbs up and the likes that have just popped up on the screen.
Thank you.
That is very much appreciated. We've got that's we've started our live now. How far are we in, Sarah, so far? We've got 12 hours to go.
Do you know, I haven't even looked at my watch. We're in 15 in.
Excellent. So that's
11 hours
15,
and 45 minutes to go.
Exactly. So not long at all. That's fantastic. And we will be sort of just reminding people around SUP 12 and the format of the race and how it works periodically at the day. Just to say as well what's coming up later. We do have some stellar stars of the SUP world, of the SUP community, who will be joining us, and that's going to be happening.
I'm so excited about that, because they're some of my favourite people. I have said it before, you do have your favourites, but they're just the most wonderful, inspirational people, aren't they?
There we go. So if that's not a good teaser, then I don't know what is.
Come back and, just keep watching or come back later.
Brilliant.
You don't want to miss it.
No, definitely not. Right, so we'll flip, and maybe we should just talk about the route here, and obviously just the most stunning day to be paddling.
Aren't we lucky? The weather we all know in the UK the weather has been absolutely awful for the last 6 months, and since Christmas it's rained, it's been windy, it's been really difficult for people to get out paddling, unless you're a complete downwinder like PJ and Marie. You're on a canal, and it's really difficult for people to get training, but they've got out there. So today we are absolutely blessed that it's pretty benign. You've got some people coming in for lap 1.
We have.
This is great.
So let's just quickly talk about the route. So whether or not you can see it or not, there are 2 buoys there just in front. They're actually yellow, so that's the entrance and exit to the beach. And if we just swing around here, and again, I'm not sure whether or not we can see this, but just beyond the headland,
it's just on that little headland area there. So
there's another yellow buoy.
Just about. Let's show the people if I can with my finger. Just about there.
There-ish. And then if we swing around, so they go round to the left of that buoy, and then the other buoy is just hidden around the other headland there. So it's a selection of bays here that link together, and it's a great. It's absolutely spectacular.
Why don't we wander over and see who's coming in first, and then we can give a shout out to those people. There's a fastest lap award. There's a male and female winner. Last year there weren't enough people to have that separation, but you've got a male and female winner, first place, but you've also got a male and female winner in age categories, which I think is really, really good. I think there are 3 age categories. So so here we have, now can we spot who this is? Nope, we're going to have to see when they come in. So I think you've got, in 3rd place it looks like Dom. He paddled here last year.
And he's got a point to prove as well. He's a very, very good paddler, and I think he was either 3rd or 4th last year, but obviously in very, very good form.
Yeah.
Here we go. So the first one up the beach. He is Bruce.
So you can dump the board. Go Bruce! So Bruce is on his way.
Fantastic.
Let's see how he manages that step. That's a real tester. Oh, nimble as. No problem there.
We'll see whether he's doing that in 12 hours time.
PJ in 2nd, Dom in 3rd. That's probably exactly what happened last year. PJ's been struggling a little bit this week. Equally has been out on the water, and actually on Monday he said he did the hardest paddle ever.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah, I know he's not been very well, and it's great to see him competing here. Paul Butler's doing it.
Tanya.
Here we go, Tanya Ecker from Germany. Fantastic that she's here this year. Previous winner of 11 cities in 2022, and multiple 2nd places, but really ripping it up there. And of course our very own
Good morning,
Marie Buchanan. Yeah, just leave it there.
So there we go.
In hot pursuit. So
That is not a surprise to see those 5 at the top, actually. Oh, and Crispin, that is not a surprise either. He's one of my top tips, actually.
from Waterbourne SUP. He was one of your fellow competitors, wasn't he, back in the day?
Absolutely. We competed together a lot. He's just such a relaxed person. Is this Chris McDonald on the right? Yep.
Yes, it is.
Chris.
All about Chris, a very, very modest paddler, but very experienced as well.
So this race is all about timing. You've got Ollie from Saltwater on the right there on the National Eco. A couple who I don't recognise. So I might chop back and get that list actually, and then because they have actually got numbers on. I haven't appreciated. Most of them have got a number on, front or back. But you've got some great board butlering going on here. And actually, yeah, we need to get out of the way.
Yeah.
So, yes, they can take this race as they like. I'm just going to scroll just to see if we've got any more. Oh, we have. Let's say hello to some people. Adrian, Katie, I think we said hello before. Blue Therapy Sup, Gemma Glover, Kelly Wilkes, thank you for the good lucks. Good morning. Oh, Sarah, legend. Check in for the full 12 hours.
We'll be here together, Sarah. It'd be great to have you on board. It will be an endurance feat for you as well as anyone else.
Yeah,
so,
Gemma Glover. Beans, good morning, Beans. Thank you very much for checking in. But this race can be done as quickly or as slow. Sorry. You can do it at your own pace. So you might want to thrash as hard as you can for, I don't know, 4 hours. You might want to not stop at all. Bruce last year did not stop at all. He did not stop at his food station. He had food on the go almost every lap. Oh, we got some bare feet here. That's keen. Craig Sawyer here, the SUP coach.
of course, 12 hours
Yukon legend.
Yeah. Of course, 12 hours for Craig is absolutely nothing. He was hallucinating over the Yukon 1000.
Absolutely.
This year.
8 days, and yeah, it was incredible.
Drop it, I'll spin it.
We've got the River Ninja here in the middle from the Philippines, and so the boys are going back out, and it looks like PJ is PJ. If you swing round, PJ is actually getting in before Bruce is gone. Okay, I'm going to trot up and get the list.
Excellent. Okay.
So I'll leave you here.
Fantastic.
I will.
I'll see you in a second.
Yeah.
Excellent. There we go. So it's all happening down here on the beach, and we'll try our best not to get in the way here. But the field will start to spread out as we go through the day. A little bit of a surf in there. Here we have Vera, another one of our international paddlers from Sweden. I'm sure the water will be nice and tropical in comparison to what Vera's used to. Make your way up the beach. Vera's got quite a story. We'll try and get a chat with her later, but she's a relatively new paddler. She's only been paddling for about 2 or 3 years, but she's already in the Swedish team and been competing competitively for a number of years, and we continue to have paddlers making their way. That's right. There we go. We've got an abandoned board there. So it's quite a challenging transition this versus last year, which will accumulate over the 12 hours. So they make their way up that sort of quite challenging step across. They pass their food supplies and then back down and out. But lap 2 for many at the moment, and we're having Andrea here from base up, getting all tangled up there. It's quite a nice, gently shelving beach, this one. So quite predictable, no sort of fall-offs or holes or anything like that we know of. There's Darren Walker. It's in his second year. So there we go. The work's really on for the board butlers this year. We're trying to wrangle this number of boards coming ashore at once. And here's Kaz Dawson, North Wales here. Kaz is a real foodie and runs courses. Teaches you how to cook lovely meals when you're on expedition. And she came down very, very late last night. And obviously a very, very early start as well. So, but this is very much a marathon rather than a sprint. So while the elite levels, the real competitive athletes are running through transition, it's just a question of really pacing yourself. Just getting your breath back, getting your sea legs going, ahead of going out there on the water. So a bunch of people still competing, still completing their first lap. This is all about how many laps you manage during the course of the day.
So number 32 is Paul Davids. I know that man. He's from the shack, isn't he? Go, Paul! Morning.
Morning. Well done.
Have to run back because I've forgotten my Bible, so I'm going to run back and get that as well.
Excellent.
Yeah, there's a good Bible there. People are saying, "Oh, that's hard." Lap one. They're like, "Oh, that's hard."
Yeah.
Don't worry, you've got to warm up.
Exactly. Yeah, they'll start to warm up. We've got Laura Jessica Walker. Folks are coming and Chung Darren on later. Yeah, I know you came later on, didn't you, Laura? And yeah, we just waved Darren through, so we're keeping an eye on him.
Mind your feet. And if you've got any messages you want us to pass on, if we can do that, of course we will. If you want to send someone some love and some, best wishes, we will do that. Good morning, Phil. How are you?
Shorties, he's sending the love there.
Yeah.
Hello.
Good morning, Rich. Zoom paddleboards. Is that? My eyes are shocking.
Yeah.
Fabrizio, thank you so much for watching. It's going to be awesome. Absolutely, Rich. It's going to be awesome.
And then we've got Starboard, who are following.
That's great.
Their main man. Well, they're
main people.
Main people, yeah. So, no surprises. They are towards the front there, and obviously we will be calling for them. But that's going to be very competitive women's competition, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
They're going to be pushing each other all the way there. So
I mean, I think Tanya could go all day, but I think Marie can as well. Good morning, Peter. Claire Conybear, I think that's you in County Cornwall. Good morning, good morning.
Well done, Andrea. Well done.
Fox
did the fastest lap. Yeah, and I think he did it in lap one. I think he just went out like a bullet just to get that lap one sort of prize. Go, Gavin!
There we go. There's our Northern Irish representative. Did a great job last year. Picked this wonderful board there. The long paddle. So that's Scarlet.
He's on Scarlet again, isn't he?
Yeah.
How lovely.
So.
Number 28 is Rachel over there with the blonde ponytail. She's come in there for her lap one. Pinky Paddles coming here on the right. We are just going to call her Pinky Paddles. That's what her Instagram handle is. So good luck to her. Go, Duncan! Whoop.
Katie Snoxall, good luck everyone. It was an amazing event last year and looks to be even better this year. Special shout out to Dom Hook, go smash it, absolutely. He was a superstar last year. He was in the top 4, I think.
Jamie Hutchinson coming in here with the pink shorts with possibly a buddy of his, Matt Knight. both
So-
paddling. Looks like they're paddling together and they're registered together. So
So as a Hutchinson, I don't know whether we're related. We may well be. It's not a very common surname, but yeah, certainly I'll have a chat with him just for family reasons. And then
long lost brother.
Indeed, yeah. Lots of support for Bruce and for Sarah Perkins. Go Ollie.
Gavin Simmons is watching. Lovely. Yeah, we get. Oh, mind your feet. I think the tide's actually coming in.
I think it
I
is.
think the tide's coming in, so we need to watch our feet.
So it's a message from Peter. Hi, Peter. Have a great day. Thank you very much. We absolutely will do. I promise you.
Yeah,
that.
thank you, Peter.
Got Craig, Sam Rutt.
Oh, good morning,
is
Sam.
watching. Good morning.
I'm sure you'd love this event, my lovely. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for all your support and thank you for everything that you're doing for SUP.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate it, and SUP Racing in particular.
Yeah, this would be fantastic, Sam, for you. Just making that decision unilaterally. Of course, you might have a different view on that one.
Yep, so this young man coming in here is Dave Chant. So Dave Chant was part of Sup It and See. I wrote about them in SUP Mag. Go Dave, well done. I wrote about them in, step back, wet feet.
I got it.
In SUP Mag UK. He paddled from Land's End to John O'Groats and then
walked
back
it.
and then cycled it back.
Yes.
Not all in one go, but pretty close. Absolute legend. I mean, he's just, to take on that with Sophie was such a, and they hadn't known each other that long, and they just decided almost on a whim, as many people do with these challenges, just to paddle, and they didn't have much experience, I don't think, or
Well, yeah. I mean, I think you get to get that experience, as you go. Basically, it's you get fit on the road, so to speak. Got a fat stick there going out, so not a traditional shape for an endurance race, but it all works, and this is a competition for all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, those two boards. There's a hyper as well. I think they're both SUP surfboards, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's what they look like. So fair play to those boys for coming down and getting on there. They might catch a little wave in later.
Yeah, there's a few little ankle ticklers coming in currently. So SUP Wellingborough, this is such a special race. Sprint, endurance and maintenance. Tactics needed in bucket loads. Yes, absolutely. It is a marathon, not a sprint, and you've got to take it really easy and be really in touch with your own body and how you're feeling, and tactically trying to make sure that you get sustenance, you get hydration before it's needed, rather than sort of out there.
Yeah, bonking out there would not be fun, would it?
It would not be fun at all, and you'll end up spending more time on the shore than you really need to.
Yeah. I don't know whether that's ever happened to you. I mean, the only sport I've really ever done is paddleboarding. But a nice little wave being caught in there. That's sweet. And I'd never really bonked before, and I couldn't believe the effect it has on your body and your mind, and it's just the most weird sensation.
I mean, my worst experience, I was cycling through the Pyrenees on a sort of multi-day trip, and halfway up a hill.
Mountain.
I don't like to overstate it, but it was. It's quite something. Sort of a sweaty, messy heap by the side of the road until you manage to get your blood sugar back up again.
But it sort of messes with your mind as well. You sort of don't know which way is up, and it's a really odd sensation. I am going to run and get my Bible, which has got loads of information in that we can talk about, and I will leave you with that.
Fantastic. I've got the competitor list. So I mean, the nutrition is a really, really critical thing here, and it's all about having enough blood sugar or sort of simply available sugar to be able to fuel you as you go, but also the slow burn fuel as well. I've been speaking to various people about their preferred nutrition strategy, and there's some weird and wonderful solutions, all of which are tried and tested and work for certain individuals. So got the more traditionalist, the pork pies. That one's quite a novel one. And there are other people who go for things like baby food. I think if you've been doing endurance sports for a while, you try and avoid all of the gels and so on if you possibly can, because that ends up getting very sticky in the mouth, particularly after 12 hours. So here's Dave, ready to start his second lap. Absolutely. So, Lands John O'Groats, how long were you sort of paddling there during the day?
So up to 9 hours on the canals, but generally on the sea just the 6 hour tidal window.
Yes.
And then call it a day.
Yeah.
12 hours with the full length of the tide is a bit crazy to me.
Yes, exactly. So it's all about the experience, isn't it? So
I'm a tactic man, so generally 6 hours with favourable conditions.
yeah.
Not 12 hours with offshore winds at 15 miles an hour.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Excellent. Good. Well, I'll let you start your second lap. Well done. Dave starts his second lap. And you can definitely see the board butlers there, standing out. And have wet feet for 12 hours. I think we've got more joining them a bit later. And what a beautiful way to start the day here. Sun just rising there. Adding a bit of solar power.
Pop that in there, otherwise that will get well and truly munched up.
So we just had a chat to Dave, so he's starting his second lap, and
How's he feeling?
well, so far so good. So far so good, I think. But there's a little way to go yet, as all butlers do their thing.
The board butlers, Brendan Prince's young, I know this one is definitely Brendan Prince's son here, so yeah, they do a great job.
Yeah.
So that breeze is, we can really feel that, can't we, on our back? So, PJ.
PJ is in, and go PJ!
Lap two.
Lap two. So he's led off that, hasn't he? So
yeah, so PJ has a point to prove. I mean, he would love to beat Bruce this year. He did one less lap last year, and this is Bruce coming in now.
So very much of the marathon, sprint, all of that stuff.
Go, Bruce!
Keep that rhythm, mate. There we go. So that's going to be the top two again. No surprises that those two guys are going to be fighting it out this year together. So it's going to be a mano a mano with those two.
Absolutely. I'm just going to try and find some information about PJ.
The proper racing start there. So he heads up on his third. And what we'll do, we'll once the race gets sort of properly underway, once we're sort of in a few laps, we'll start referring back to the timings. Got a timing van here because it can get a little bit messy as things progress, and people get lapped and so on.
Right, okay. All right.
Keep going. Come on, Rick.
One more lap.
One more lap.
That's the mantra. That is the mantra from Last Paddler Standing, really. Just one more lap. I mean, Bruce just did amazingly. You know, last paddler standing, one of the last four. He was just incredible to have that UK representation at an international event like that.
He did brilliantly, and he was one of the last four, wasn't he? And obviously supported by Karen, his partner, and he's just like a metronome. We did speak at length yesterday about his approach, and we agreed this is really an individual race. It's about just maintaining that pressure, that working like a metronome, going at your own pace, because all it takes is for your competitor to crack, and then you're through. So it's just staying in the game.
Absolutely, and not worrying about your competitor. A race like this, in a 10k race, of course you have to look at your competitors and work around that, but for this you absolutely have to stay in your own game and paddle it your own way. If you get caught up in a little cat fight or you're going to be in a world of pain, aren't you? So here we go, we've got Tanya coming in again here.
So Tanya just saying that she's had a little swim already.
So that shows that I'm guessing that might be the wind that just caught her out, or not sure, but she's had a swim already, so that makes me feel quite chilly hearing her say that. Let's see who else is on the, if anybody else is on that. You can spoke to these people.
Marie.
Oh, Scott. Good morning, Scott.
We're missing you.
Live.
We're missing you.
Yeah, this is definitely live, Skip, as we speak. There's Marie Buchanan coming in. She is second lady currently. So it's really nice to see that she entered this event. But Skip, you are missed, my friend. We hadn't just scrolled up to see who was... Simon's there. We are commentating together. Oops. Let's just see. So it's 7 a.m. in the morning, or what's the time? 7:45 in the morning here, Skip, and it's really nice that you're watching. Nat Rendell, good morning. Alistair Swinscoe, hello, my friend. Is this something you would have a go at, Alistair? You like your endurance. Matt Box-Smith, good morning.
There's Crispin in third place for the men.
Well done, Crispin. Good job.
He's absolutely killing it.
Such a strong man. Such a strong man.
So we've got Chris McDowell, and please shout out to Team SUP Sisters, Julia and Jill.
Okay, so we had a little chat with Jill just now, and we gave her a big hug from you, Chris. It was a little bit early, so maybe you hadn't checked in quite then, but we've definitely sent you your love, and she sends it back. Fiona, good morning, Fiona.
I'm not going to get much of anything done today watching this. Well,
that's good.
Yeah, that's it. Stay with us through. We'll get through together.
Good morning, Scott. Lovely, lovely for you to check in.
Say hi to Tanya from us. We just missed her on that last lap, Alistair, but we will do that when she comes back through. In fact, she might be picking up her board.
Yep, she will. We'll pass that message on.
So we just...
Alison, hi, Alison.
We've got Go Sarah Perkins, Mr. Martin Rendell.
And good morning, Becky. Thank you so much for checking in. It's really lovely. I hope you enjoy. It looks calm. It's a little bit windier out there, Scott. Of course, you know that it's, it can look quite benign, but it's certainly not anything hairy, scary. So Gavin is there.
That's.
Sorry.
Shall I do it?
You can do it.
Okay,
so
that's Sam. So Gavin said, do you have the ability to do a leaderboard? We don't have the ability to do a leaderboard here. We will be checking in on those scores though as we go, and as the tide is coming in and we avoid tripping over this rather beautiful starboard.
But you can check the times yourselves, and you can have a look at the leaderboard on
it's supfmpodcast.com/SUP times. We will post the link when we sort of get a chance. I think you've put it in your
Hi, Chris,
Facebook
well
post.
Done. Good job. Chris McDonald there, who's I think the last time I saw Chris was in France at the ISA event, and he was there with the Saudi team, so he was out in Saudi training the Saudi team, race team, and he's now back here and joining in this event. So
let's carry on going through the messages. Apologies, we need to catch up. So Paul Rosser, Lisa Jack.
Good morning.
Steve Pye is watching.
Good morning, Daddy Pie. How are you, my lovely? Thank you, Martin. Back at you. Cheryl Jones, thank you for watching. Eddie Fletcher. Loads of people. Scott is watching from Costa Rica. How cool is that? Andy England. No. Stop it. Very funny, Scott. Thank you. What was that question from Martin there? Was there a question?
I think there was a bit of a chat between Martin and Skip there, so
right.
we don't want to get in the way of that that man love going on. Rachel Goddard is watching.
Good morning, Rachel. That's a friend of mine. How are you? I hope you're enjoying this.
Steffi Holton, yes. Duncan is going well. We've had a couple of really nice chats, and we'll get him on the live stream at some point over the 12 hours. But he's doing really well and all rested and ready for the racing today.
Gosh, and the sun is coming out. Anya Williamson, good morning to you. Carwyn Humphreys, thank you so much for watching. It's really great that you're checking in.
Got Jamie Short and Andrew Guthrie.
Craig is doing well. He's out on the water currently, but we will find
We'll
him.
catch up with him as we go.
So the leader currently is PJ, just ahead of Bruce. So it's Bruce on lap 1 and it's PJ on lap 2. So there is going to be a battle royal between those two because they were top 2 last year, and I think Paul feels he's got a point to prove. And he will be doing his very best to beat Bruce, and Bruce will be doing his very best to get to retain that title. So
lots of love there for Bruce. There's a conversation going on between Martin and Skip, so we don't want to get through that. We've got Emily King. Hi, Emily.
good morning, Emily. I don't know whether you'd be interested in doing something like this. You're pretty good at the endurance stuff, and you're a cracking paddler. So it's just a really, like most SUP events, it's all about the SUP love, isn't it, and the joy and the camaraderie between the paddlers. It's a really cool vibe.
So Alison Gotanya Eka.
Oh, is this James? So this is James Fletcher, our prone
Yes.
guy. The prone guy. Good morning, James. How are you doing? So James Fletcher, I have historically called him that prone guy. He's been paddling. He's paddled so much, and he's competed in the GB SUP National Series at Cardiff and all over the place. So it's really lovely to have a prone paddler here. If you look at that board a little bit in more detail, actually it looks quite a long board, and he's got his water set up at the front there. And I seriously don't know how they do it. A, because I've got a bit of a dodgy back, and A, I've got dodgy knees. And you need great knees and a great back for this. So, but look at that, super skinny. And he's super skinny here. And they're very, very tippy, very pointy. This looks like a proper sort of race machine, actually. Maybe we'll watch him go off, Simon.
Yeah.
And then people can see exactly how the prone stuff works. There's Joe Jones, so going up there. So, hi Joe. Joe is new to the SUP scene, and we could not be more excited about his enthusiasm and his talent. He's from Wales, and I predict that he will be paddling for Team Wales this year, next year. He loves the sea. He loves the gnarly conditions. He's an ex-rugby player.
Oh,
he's
well,
very
he's got
strong.
he's got my
got
vote
your history.
there.
So, but he's just got that lovely, enthusiastic, puppy vibe about him.
Joie de vivre.
Absolutely. So
there you go, and quick through the transition there as well, which
absolutely
is
no
fantastic.
messing with Joe. So big up Joe Jones. Look out for him at all the races, and it's going to be interesting to see his progress this year. I mean, look at that. He's so go Joe.
That was a pretty quick transition, that one.
Nice transition there. So let's have a look and see who.
Here's Vera again. find the flag for Sweden.
Okay. Okay, so they've got the long side stretch that Vera from Sweden was talking about. Is this long side stretch from bay to bay, and you've got the wind offshore, as you can see, if ever you don't know what offshore... Oh, sorry, I'm being a proper numpty there. There's your offshore wind. The flag is being blown offshore. So let's just watch James go off on his prone, and then we'll talk about Vera. This is how it goes on this 12-hour event, isn't it? You just flip and you start to talk about something. I think about 10 minutes ago I was going to talk about PJ Simmons, and we're now talking about James Fletcher. But it's really interesting to see James go off on this beautiful prone board. And this is historically what paddleboarding is.
Yes.
Paddleboarding is that very thing that he's going to do now. Not what we do. What we do is stand-up paddleboarding. But there you go.
And very popular. I mean, it's popular all over the place, particularly sort of Australia and so on. Surf life saving.
Absolutely.
It's an incredible. And just look at the position that he's in there, and just applying and paddling with the hands for hours and hours. I mean, it's a proper gritty, hardcore water sport there.
And I don't know whether you've ever tried to get on a prone board. They are the tippiest things in the world. If you think a 24-inch carbon race board is tippy, you want to try getting on a prone board.
It's quite amazing.
Is Dave Scott on the right on his Nisco.
So let's start going through the messages again. We are desperately behind on all of this. So morning to Mark Taylor and John.
Oh, good morning, Mark.
Stuart, Darren Goss.
Yeah, peace and night again, James Rowe. Thanks for watching, James. Your Base Up members are here doing their stuff. We've got Dom Moore out on the water, Andrea. We've got Fox. Fox is helping with the board, so that's cool. Michaela. Hi, Michaela. So Michaela Afford is, if you're involved in GB SUP and you want to buy some raffle tickets and you want to win some epic prizes at the end of the year and support an incredible charity, which is My Black Dog, then you want to be getting hold of Michaela Afford at GB SUP, and she will be at every event selling raffle tickets, and the raffle prizes will be drawn at the end of the year at the big GB SUP Beano bun fight in Southampton. So
fantastic, yeah, very worthy cause. We've got Dorset SUP, so they're on the River Stour.
Nice. Good morning, Dorset SUP. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful day.
So Emily was just responding to our questions to where are you, Emily? And she was in North Wales doing exams.
Well done, Emily. Good job. Maybe next year.
We've got a Go Wales. So yeah, great representation.
So we've got Glyn Smith there, who, again, I paddle with him at Nisco events, Trent 100. I mean, and now he's all over whitewater SUP. He's a really, really good whitewater paddler and absolutely loves it, as do I.
Good. So Jackie Edwards, welcome to the live stream.
Good morning, Jackie.
Hopefully you're with us for the full 12 hours. No pressure. Paul Gander. Morning, guys. Nice day for it. It is a lovely day. It's an offshore wind, but we are eyeing with a certain amount of suspicion these grey clouds over here.
Yep.
It's a little bit dark over there. This is a southwesterly. The way that the bays are set up, this is an offshore wind here. We've got a message from James Rowe. Tell Dom Hook to paddle faster when he comes in.
Okay.
Love from James.
We'll do that.
You pass that one on.
Go, Turkey! Whoops.
So the beach is retreating at quite a rate. I mean, it's been coming up to our first hour. Probably lost about 50 metres, so it is coming in fairly quickly.
So make it easier for the paddlers now, less of a beach walk.
Yeah.
And obviously that will go up and down. We've got Claire Terry there on the, looks like she's on an SIC, just here on the right.
There we go.
Kevin Jackson just going back on the board here. How's it going, Kev? Swimmingly.
Literally or not? Hopefully
You've
not
done-
literally.
You've done an hour. Well done. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we thought, actually. I think Karen Greener made the right decision. She's not comfortable in those decisions, and she, you know, it, as I say, it looks pretty cool here, and out there it's quite breezy. So they are paddling. Yeah.
And this is the thing about the wind shadow, and it's often the thing from a safety perspective that you know, certainly novice paddlers don't really notice, because all of this landscape round here and the landscape behind it, and there's quite a large area of landmass behind, is all sort of providing a level of protection. You can see it in terms of the water. You can see the you know, the lighter patches near on, and the sort of more ruffled patches a bit further out in the bay there. But yeah, it's there's a wind which is definitely affecting them, isn't it?
Absolutely, yep, absolutely. And it feels quite fresh for us. They obviously won't be as fresh as we are because they're paddling hard.
Yes, well, we're doing a live stream, and you are.
I've lost your podcast. I was listening, and now on Spotify it hasn't updated. So
Has it not?
I haven't seen anything strange.
Oh, right. Well, I haven't done anything for a while. In fact, we've had 2 episodes recently.
Okay, cool.
So I'll give you a postcard, and then you can recharge.
Be on one of these things, mate.
Well, I should do. I wanted to, but they wouldn't let me this year. Yeah, and I'm booked in for 10 years apparently as well, me and Sarah. So there we go. That's the familiar perky face when she's
Absolutely, the face of joy.
off to start another lap.
She's not enjoying it.
She didn't enjoy it last year, but
No.
Happily 2 days afterwards she'd completely forgotten about that and
entered for next year.
exactly. So
yeah.
it's one of the great things about having a shocking memory as an endurance athlete. It just keeps you going and going.
Absolutely. Yep. So
Brilliant.
who else have we got?
We've got Joe Jones and Sarah Perkins paddling for Wales.
Yeah. Good morning, Sarah.
What time is it in Costa Rica, Skip? And have you started your pina coladas? Is the sun over the yard on? We do need an update on this.
Yeah. Nice haircut as well, dude.
Here we go. So this looks like this looks like a familiar stroke here. PJ looking very, very, very strong and coming in. It's fair to point out that PJ was ahead last year as well, but looking particularly strong. And still a little leap there. It's Kaz Dawson there. As I said, she came down very, very late last night. She was in North Wales training, and she managed to make her way down. Couldn't be further away, really. And then was up and out. 5 o'clock this morning. We all arrived at 6. Everything was in full flow. And there's Bruce. So probably about a minute behind PJ at the moment, but as we said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And last year there was a significant lead. PJ did have a significant lead, and then it just got nibbled away at during the course of the day.
Hi.
Oh yeah.
Well done. Good luck. Go, PJ.
Oh, look at that. That's one for the gram, definitely. So PJ does well. Let's talk about PJ, shall we?
Okay, so PJ, he's a starboard.
He's the main man, isn't he?
He's the main man in the UK. So, and he has been again. I paddled with him back in the day. So raced with him back in the day, and he was racing against the likes of Ryan James, Peter Holiday. Just a great paddler, and he's done some really good. He's done some really good paddling expeditions, like from the Isle of Scilly to that crossing.
Yeah, the Celtic crossing. He does a lot of water sports as well.
Absolutely, he'll be all over winging and windsurfing and cracking surfer as well. So
here's one for our German viewers. Duncan Holton here. Hi Duncan, how's it going?
Going really good. I'm much faster than I thought.
Oh, well, there you go. That's
You realise that? But I just saw that this is fourth, right?
yes.
Is that the fourth?
I
I
think
think that's his fourth. Yeah.
yeah.
I think he did 3 just like the 2, so he's like 12.
Yeah, but you can still catch him, Duncan. You keep going.
So that is Duncan, who is over from Germany, which is really great to have that support. So we've got Tanya from Germany, Duncan, who is British but lives in Germany, and we've got Vera Lindmark from Sweden, haven't we?
Indeed.
Going back to Paul Simmons, so what kind of music does he like? Manic Street Preachers. He's been paddling for 17 years. That's as many as anybody in the UK, isn't it? And potentially the world. So he's been paddling for a long time. Here's the people that he really... Hello.
We've got a newcomer to the live stream there.
I thought that was...
It didn't have a race number, so I don't know who she's called.
So here's the people that are his inspiration are Fiona Wilde and Connor Baxter. Now, you cannot have two better people, can you, for that? And they are, Fiona Wilde is still so young and so talented, both starboard riders, and Connor Baxter's been around forever, hasn't he, racing.
Fiona particularly impressive because she's done all of that despite suffering from diabetes.
Absolutely,
So a huge amount of effort and work medically she needs to put in order to put the performance, but very much into sort of foiling as well. But Paul is, he does all of the water sports, doesn't he? I remember spending some time with him at a demo event in the New Forest, and him sort of doing those 360s on a sprint, which is a very narrow board anyway. I mean, he's just very
He's
good.
got some super skills. So Dom, right, I'm going to have to shout something to Dom in a minute from James Rowe. So we'll catch him on the way down. But going back to Paul, we've asked all the athletes what their favourite paddle snack is. And Paul's is, and I quote, Paul's balls. So Paul's balls are homemade creation. Fruit, nut, melted Snickers bars, honey and more. They sound amazing. I think we need to go and find a snack box and try those.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll do that in a second. So Paul's balls. That's definitely.
You need to know.
Yeah, quite a good brand that as well, isn't it?
So.
It's very memorable, certainly. Right. Well done, Dom Hook. You got this stunning day from Kelly Wilkes.
Thank you, Kelly. We are just about to pass on Dom a nice little message from James Rowe. He's just coming down now, sprinting. Well done, Paul. Good job. Right, let's just give him a shout. Dom, James Rowe sends his love and says paddle faster. James should be here. There you go, James.
Kelly says you've got this.
Yep, Kelly says you got this, Dom. Well done. Lots of support coming through for everybody.
11 hours left.
So yeah, going back to Paul, he can't remember the amount of laps he did last year, but he just wants to do one more than his nearest competitor here today.
One more lap.
Just wants to win.
Marie.
So here's Marie coming in. I didn't see Tanya, did you? See Tanya coming through? Yeah, here's Marie coming through. So yeah,
Just
another absolute legend, winning multiple gold and silver and probably bronze medals throughout her career, and doing really, really well in the 50 plus as well, in Poland and France. I mean, she's such an inspiration to so many people. She's incredibly humble. Here comes Tanya.
Tanya, so there's a...
Tanya, Alison and Alistair say well done, keep going. Yes, Maria's a very quite unassuming,
incredibly modest.
very modest, doesn't particularly like to come on podcasts or things like that. She's dragged kicking and screaming into the front of the camera, but an absolute inspiration to so many people in the country and worldwide. And
Yeah.
she's been recognised quite rightly by Starboard. She is now officially on their dream team, which means the best of the best in the world. Well done, Marie, keep going.
Yeah, and what a coup to have her racing with us
Absolutely.
this weekend.
Absolutely.
Just so pleased, because she is an absolute legend, hugely modest,
Yeah.
but unbelievable ability, and spends a huge amount of time on the water, foiling and so on as well. So.
Oh, she's a proper water baby, and I think over the last few years, I mean, every end of season I talk to Marie and it's like, no, that's it, last year, and every year she comes back, and I think she's paddling really well at the moment and happily, because she's got all her other water sports. She spends so much time on the water just doing the things she loves, and I think that really shows in her racing, actually.
Absolutely.
It's not all about being at the gym or training hard or just doing that constantly. For her, it's about time on the water, having fun, doing what she loves, and it's not made her a better racer because she's been brilliant all the time, but it's just keeping that longevity of her racing career, isn't
It's
it?
keeping the interest going. So we're joined by Thomas Ecker. Thomas, I don't know whether you're related to Tanya at all, but she's doing very, very well at the moment. She's leading the British athlete, Marie Buchanan, out at the moment and doing really well. She's been out for a swim, I understand, which obviously isn't necessarily ideal.
Yes,
but,
lap 2 or 3 she went for a swim, so but she'll be paddling hard and working hard, so she shouldn't be cold. But she's doing really well. They had a good trip over, and it's great to see some an athlete like Tanya here, because she's another bit of a legend in our sport with the endurance stuff. And
11 cities winner, and
Absolutely.
she's performed incredibly in that area. Probably be worth explaining what the 11 cities is for people who are just joining us. So it's a bit of a legendary race in the Netherlands, and it started off as a skating race, and I can't remember the actual mileage. Someone could probably tell me.
224k or
That's
something.
the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. There, give or take. But it's basically a circular route which goes through, surprisingly enough, 11 cities
Yep.
on the route and along the canals. It started off as a skating race. Now, obviously, there's only certain years that it's able to be run, and I don't think it's been run since the 1990s. As a skating race, because obviously with everything warming up a bit, but it's also lent itself to a fantastic stand-up paddle race, and you can do it in two ways. You've got the non-stop, and then you've got the stage race. So effectively it's a little bit like the Tour de France, I guess, for SUP, and people complete the various different stages. And then there's an overall time, and Tanya won it once in 2022 and was sort of there or thereabout on, I think, 3 different occasions, and then had a third place as well. But it's very much the endurance. I mean, it's a long running race, I guess, in terms of.
I think it's one of the longest races in the world, actually, the long SUP race in the world, and it started off as a 5-day event. You do something like 45k for 4 days, and then the rest, like a 25k on day 5. It is really probably, I've never been, but it's probably one of the friendliest, happiest races that you can go to. They look after you so well. You can do it as an individual, you can do it as a team, so you could take 5 of you and do 1 day each, and then do the last day all together. They're very flexible. And then a few years ago, they brought in the non-stop race, which is held just before the 5-day, and you do get people doing both events, which to me just blows my mind. Really, you get like a 2-day break and then you're off again. It historically has got a very vicious, it's like a lake, I think, maybe on day one. I know that one year they had to pull everybody off the water because it was so dangerous. I think it's so big that it can get waves and wind and whatever. But the rest of it is on canals. Crispin has done the 11 cities, Ryan James, Marie has done it. It's a real pull for people who want that 5-day challenge, or the 1-day challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's an incredible race. The non-stop. So I spoke to Nick van der Linde on the podcast, who had completed the race distance well within 24 hours, and there were some incredible athletes who have taken part. Bart de Zwart, who is again a member of the Starboard Dream Team and has done some incredible challenges in his time, and in fact he's the captain, I think, of the Dream Team.
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, what a life he's had on the water. He's done some epic endurance paddling. He's done some normal racing, but his main thing is just racing. Let's just have a little look.
So yes, quite right, Mark Taylor. Marie Buchanan won the 11 cities about 10 years ago. She's just a phenomenally evergreen athlete. In fact, we could probably spend the next 11 hours talking about Marie Buchanan and how much we love her.
She won the only year that I did the Paris, the SUP Nautic race. I travelled down, and she won that as well at that time. And I've known her for a very long time. I've got a very, very soft spot for Marie, and she is an absolute legend. She's a true water woman.
Yeah.
We don't use that word lightly for people, I don't think, or we shouldn't use that word lightly.
No, she's an absolute legend, and she's absolutely not bothered by that label whatsoever. But we'll keep throwing it in her direction whether she likes it or not.
Yeah, she doesn't want that label, but we're certainly going to give it to her.
So Dean Rice, hi Dean, welcome to the live stream. The good news is that looking at the clock.
Oh, let's grab the race director. Come in, lovely.
Now, if there's one thing we know about Brendan, he loves being referred to as the race director. So. Well, you've only got one of those, thankfully, for Sarah.
The man who's working hard to get this event off the ground and has got this event off the ground. How's it going so far? Pretty good.
Do you know what? At 1 second past 7, once they've started, it's a happy place.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot easier to do everything that needs to go on, because it's all sorted. And all in order, and that's, for me, the safety.
Absolutely. And I find it incredible that 10 minutes before that, when you stood on there, trying to gather the paddlers around, to have a mini safety briefing and thinking, there is no way they're going to be on the water at 7. And at 7 o'clock, they're on the water. They got their act together and came down and got
12 hours, we've got to start.
Absolutely. But they don't have to start at 7, do they?
No, in fact, it was amazing. Two LC signed up, didn't have their own set. So you literally got to get up 5 past 7 saying, you want to just get up? And you could still see the sleep in their eyes.
Oh, bless.
So,
is that young Ben Green? Ben Green, yeah, okay.
But that's
Well, at least.
The joy of it is he's not disqualified. He can just get on the water and enjoy the race. So, and the tide comes in quickly here, doesn't it?
Doesn't hang around. And it'll come right up. So, all the way, but that's the tricky thing. You're going to be lining boards out.
Okay.
The other way.
And have you been watching who's been coming in? Are you aware of that? Or you
not massively.
Okay.
So I kind of detached for the first couple of hours.
Okay.
But I just had a look at the stream. So that
they're moving on, aren't they?
I'm not hanging around. As soon as I
PJ's in the lead and Tanya at the girls. So cracking. And Marie not far behind you. I think it's going to be a really
the first 4 to 5 laps are the sort of
settling in.
Yeah, some have gone out too fast, some have gone out too slow, and they work that. After 4 or 5, you start to see
Yeah. And how great to have James Fletcher here on the trend board.
He is, he's doing well.
I mean, what a beauty that is. He's doing really, really well. and he's very supportive of all the local races and the GB SUP National Series. It's brilliant. And he's done some good stuff. All right, my lovely, we'll let you get on.
Thank you.
And who are the board butlers today? Can we give them a shout out, please?
Yeah, so at the minute, both my sons.
Okay.
So the big issue with having the rugby team set up for my brothers was when their game is cancelled last week and rescheduled for this Saturday, i.e. today. We're haven't got as many.
Okay. All right. But you've got some helpers anyway, so brilliant. It'll work.
Right.
All right, my lovely.
Guys.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Take
Do
it.
what you're doing. Looking great, nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Laura, you said you can't hear us very well. Hopefully you can hear us now. Please let us know.
Julia, Chris sends you her love. She's watching from Australia. There you go, Chris. We found her. She's just about to head on her lap. So Julia and Jill are doing a relay. So they're going to swap every lap. So
We've got Phil Plume.
Phil Plume. Good morning, Phil. How are you doing? We've got Crispin here. Crispin, who hasn't raced for 5 years.
And he's killing it, frankly.
He is, actually.
Yeah.
He's a strong paddler. You will remember that, Phil, from your racing days with him. He was always up there, wasn't he?
Alan Branner, welcome to the live stream. Now, I don't know whether we're playing the SUP drinking game at home. You have to take a sip every time you hear me say it's a marathon, not a sprint. So hopefully that will keep you entertained during the course of the day.
All right.
So going through the messages here. Brendan, Skip says hi. Hi, straight back to you, Skip. We got Wendy Lookman watching. Hi, Wendy.
Yeah, good morning, Phil.
Thanks, Sarah, for the clarification. Sarah and Brendan, we couldn't hear very well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we need to. When we have a guest on, we'll just get them really close to the mic. Yeah, there's a little bit of an offshore breeze here, but we'll make sure that we get our guest on and shouting, basically.
Absolutely. Apologies there for the filming of the water there. Maybe that was a bit of an artist angle from me there. But yeah, the beach has retreated really quickly, hasn't it? It's been quite phenomenal.
Yeah, and really quickly. So, hi, Suzanne. Nice of you to check in. And Phil, can I be a guest? Yeah, you can, mate. Why not?
I'm a bit drunk.
Oh, no. Enjoy your drinking, Skip, and we'll see you later.
And yeah, hopefully you're playing along the drinking game. I hope you know the rules.
I think Skip's winning the drinking game.
Is he? I wasn't aware that I had said that many times, but obviously...
different time zone.
Yeah, maybe, that's what it is.
For anybody who's not watching, Skip is in Costa Rica currently. We're supposed to be doing this race and decided to stay in Costa Rica. We cannot blame you, Skip. And I know you've been doing a bit of surfing, a bit of... we've had some great videos back from Skip with some incredible animals. So, filming sloths and just some incredible wildlife over there. So that's very exciting.
Costa Rica, definitely the place to be. Well, the Bull Butlers are doing a fantastic job.
So we've got PJ now coming in. So PJ will, I think, be going out on his 5th lap.
Yeah.
I mean, this man is on it, basically. He's a man on a mission.
He definitely is. He's doing really phenomenally well. Yeah, watch out.
PJ.
Good man.
Looking happy.
He's looking good.
Happy.
And still leaping up there, doing brilliantly.
Up the stairs. So I'm going to find a little bit of information about Tanya here. Hello everybody. I've got my big Bible. Thank you so much to Brendan for sorting all these all this information out. We sent all the paddlers some little questions,
Questionnaires, didn't we?
Simple questions. Last year we had a few essays, and this year we needed just to have a few bullet point bits of information. So I am going to try to find something about Tanya. I know she's in here, but just bear with me.
Okay, so let's have another look at this wind here. You can see it's blowing offshore there, so that means it's going to be pretty difficult. It's going to be all on one side as they sort of paddle across. There's PJ launching again, and got the man in here.
That was Bruce as well, wasn't it?
So just taking on a bit of fluid there. And it is really important. I mean, it's a psychological game, this, and it's really important to remember that that things can change. And the last race, PJ was out there in front, and he got overhauled. But it looks like he's pretty determined that that's not going to happen this time. And real intense, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, let's have a little chat about Tanya. So I've got some great stats from her here. So the first time she got on a paddleboard was 2012, so she's my neck of the woods. That was when I first got on a board. And she started competing in 2017. She paddles on the River Rhine in Germany, so she's between Germany and Switzerland. I was actually talking to her yesterday about in Germany they don't have a national series like we do here.
Right.
In Switzerland they do, but they don't in Germany because no one has actually sort of taken it on and set it up. So quite an interesting fact. So she started competing in 2017 and then sort of got more into it in 2019. She's paddled in the 11 cities, 5-day event, 6 times. She won it in 2022. She's had 3 second places and 1 third. I mean, that is just bonkers. She's won 11 German national titles, so even though they don't have a national series, they have national races, sort of standalone. 11 times. I mean, that is just something, isn't it? And she's competed in the World and European Championships in 2023. She's just done so much, isn't she? What drew her to SUP 12? She wanted to have a change. Again, I was talking to her last night. She wanted to have a change. She did so much racing last year, and you know, if you do so much, too much, you get a bit of burnout, really. And I think she just wanted to have a bit more fun, really, with it. So she just spoke to someone in the UK, and they told her about the race, and she just thought, let's have a go. So here she is, which is utterly brilliant. So how many laps would she like to do? Oh, she said she wants to do at least 60 laps.
Well, that would be challenging, but
That would be amazing.
that's something to aim for, and might mean that she comes back next year as well.
Yeah, maybe 60 kilometres
Yeah.
is what she means. Who does she like in the SUP world? Who are her inspirations? Danny Ching and April Zilg.
Hippo Stick.
Hippo Stick, girl
Yeah.
after her own heart.
So that's the paddle brand.
Yeah, and they are her teammates. So she is sponsored by 404, which is Danny Ching's brand, isn't it? And Hippo Stick as well. And she is now the European supplier for those boards, I do believe. That's quite a new thing, maybe last year. So, favourite paddle snack? Moon Valley bars and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
There you go.
Sounds
I'm
nice.
feeling hungry already.
Sounds nice. So that's Tanya.
Brilliant. So let's catch up on some of the messaging. We've got Stand Up Magazine. Aloha to the UK.
Oh, good.
Aloha straight back at you. It's,
Absolutely, Mike. Thank you so much for checking in.
you do so many fantastic things for the sport, and you know, it's great to have you watching. And you know, this is a fantastic event. You've got lots of stuff going on over there shortly, so we'll all be wrapped tension there. Let's have a
Yes,
look.
everybody just follow Stand Up Magazine from Germany. Yeah, please follow them, and they do some incredible things. Check them out online and on social media, and they share the SUP love as we do and have been doing it for a very long time. So Mike Yucca from, I think you're based in Hawaii, Mike, but do check it out. Support all these people who just share the love of SUP. That's what we'd like you all to do.
Sharing the aloha.
Absolutely.
It's so important, and yeah, glad that you're enjoying and checking in to us on this 12-hour plus live stream. We may well stop for a breather on occasion, but yeah, we're just over a...
Not very often.
No, not very often.
We didn't really stop last year. We only stopped, I think, to just do a bit of tech work or just a tech issues.
Yeah, recharge the old batteries, literally. Well,
Yes.
us and the devices.
Yeah, talking of recharge, someone mentioned coffee to me about half an hour ago, and still I don't have the coffee, so very much looking forward to getting some coffee. Let's have a look.
Tanya Ecker does a lot with junior paddlers.
Oh, that's nice to know.
a-
Thank you, Alison, for that fact. That's really good to know.
So there we go. So we've got to say hello to Crispin from Phil. Yeah, we will make sure that happens, and we'll do
Yeah.
that live on the stream for those of you who are
Absolutely.
hanging on.
Yeah, one of the OGs, definitely. Phil, you'll remember racing with Crispin and all those guys. Mark, bless him. Ryan James, Pete Holiday, Marie was round at those times. I mean, there's just so many names.
Mark
It's
Slater.
Yeah, Mark Slater. Yeah, we had some good times in those days, sort of early days of the race series being set up, UK National Series, then it changed to GB SUP National Series. You know, thank goodness that was set up, because it's a fabulous series still, so and we're delighted to be involved in it. So yeah, happy days. I remember being Norfolk race, I think we were talking about this the other day, Phil and I. You know, there were not many ladies in the 14-foot class when I was racing, so you never ever got the chance to draft because we were all slightly spread out. And I remember being at the Norfolk race, which was one of my favourites, and I just heard this sort of, it sounded like a train coming behind me, and it was all the boys, you know, this massive draft train creating this wake, and off they went, and they were so good about it. They would swap and change and do all the things that you're supposed to do in a draft train. But yeah, it was good to see it in action, because it was something that I very rarely did. There's Marie just flying past there, so we've got a
all
bit
the
of
action's happening down here, and we might have to move. There's Tanya.
So is that Marie ahead of Tanya?
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it?
Okay, so we've had a bit of a change in the lead. We seem to have Marie just ahead of Tanya. So that is that's interesting, isn't it? It's just, as Brendan said, lap 4, up to lap 4 to 5, there's a lot of settling in. There's a lot of, you know, have I gone off too fast? You know, am I trying to chase people that I shouldn't be? I need to be racing my own race. So after about 4 or 5 laps, it just settles down a bit. So
It's just about settling into a comfortable pattern here. So I think
pretty much, I think Marie just stopped at her bag there for some nourishment. So these girls are pretty much
neck and neck,
neck
aren't
and
they?
neck, absolutely. So we're going to stand in a little holding pen out of the way of these racers. Marie, Sam said good luck.
Go Marie Buchanan from Sam and from Mark.
Brilliant.
But,
Oh, Mark, well, I'll give her a shout out next time from you. Thank you for your support. Here comes Glyn and Kaz Dawson here on the right. So, sup lass. So Kaz is doing a challenge this year, the Amazon SUP Challenge. Now this is a new event. It's been a canoe challenge for 1 or 2 years, and it is now open to stand-up paddleboarders. You go as a group, and it's more about. It's not really a race. It's a challenge. It's just to do it, but it's more about meeting the indigenous tribes and learning from them and just experiencing the Amazon. So she's doing that with 2 teammates. So check out SUP and you can sponsor them, and they are doing some great fundraising for some good causes. So check out SUP and there's a little board there that might float away. Which is not what we want. So that's Ollie's board from Saltwater.
Yeah, so Kaz from North Wales, very good culinary expert.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she's got so many skills in so many different fields, not just paddling white water, cooking. I went to Sweden with her where she was one of the guides and she cooked for us. She was just utterly brilliant. She's got some serious skills, that girl. When she told me what she's done in her life, I had serious FOMO. For sure. Here comes Crispin again, so we need to give him a shout out from Phil. Crispin, Phil says well done and good luck. So the step seems to be working well, the little step.
It does. I noticed the leap on seems to be less used.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, but,
here comes Ollie. Well done, Ollie. Good job. How's it going? Loving it. Loving it. Good man. It was floating away.
so we may well have to retreat up to the...
Well, apparently I think this is as far as it comes. I think it doesn't. Yeah, it's not going to come right all the way up to the wall, the water, which is good because we can stay on the sand. We haven't actually used our sofa yet, have we?
We haven't. Should we? Well, should we go up and maybe have a look at
find someone who can give us some coffee?
That's a really good idea.
Right, I've spotted the man. I will go. What would you like?
I'll have black Americano, please.
Any sugar?
No, thank you. There we go, Crispin recapturing his boards there. So if you haven't heard, we've got some guests coming on later on who are going to join us on the live stream. So some really quite impressive supporters of the sport and prominent athletes, and it'd be great to grab 5-10 minutes with them just to have a bit of a chat. Here's Duncan here. Thanks, Phil. The behind-the-scenes coffee ordering. Yeah, I was holding out for a bacon sandwich, but I might have to wait for that. Well done, Kaz. Okay, creating a bit of a maze here. We've got board butler Brendan Prince here, doing his thing. Hester, thanks for your comment. Loving this live feed. I'm not a racer, but it gives you a feel for the love and respect for each other in the community. I think one of the great things about this sport, and I don't know whether it's just because it's new or the water culture, where there's always, a lot of respect. There's certainly a aloha factor, sort of mutual respect and love and all of that sort of stuff, which we hope to channel as much as we can and maintain within the sport, because it's really important. We're all enjoying the water, we're all getting benefits from it in different ways, no matter what our level. So it's just spending time out in the water which is so important for everyone. There we go, yeah, Brendan Prince, board butler, he's multi-talented. He's building out a pontoon. Here's the man. Still running, fantastic. Chris is sort of white water native, but just also done quite a few events or expeditions. He's paddled the channel. He also crossed from Mallorca to Ibiza, which is 55 miles or 55 kilometres. I can't quite remember the specifics, but quite changeable conditions there. And he also coached the Saudi national team at recent championships, so very much a globe-trotter. And Chris also, he started in kayaking and took part when he was very young in something called the Sick Line, which is an Adidas event in some horrendous rapids, I think grade sort of 4 to 5. So competing in that when he was really young was quite something, and he gained quite a lot with that. But he came into SUP after sort of discovering the joys of inflatable SUPs actually, and the portability of it. And since then he hasn't looked back. Obviously competing today.
Go, Jamie. No, I've got a number list. Go, Matt. Well done. Have I learnt everyone's names yet? No chance. That's why you need a really nice little list, really clear numbers. Yeah.
Excellent, and we're back.
The sun is
And the sun
got his hat
is
out and his hat on, and no coffee at the moment because the coffee shop's not open. So
Oh,
I'm
dear.
guessing we're waiting till 9 o'clock, and there will be a rush, I think, for the coffee stall. So
yes.
Oh, yes.
Well, Peter, thank you for reminding me. So yes, absolutely. So Chris has been absolutely phenomenal raising money for water sports in Peru. I think it's a surf organisation for
Yeah.
kids, and he was inspired by a film all about it. So he's really been quite uncompromising in terms of raising money and also going out there and helping, assisting in a really underprivileged area, which not likely to get exposure to water sport. So so Peter, thanks for that. That was
and he's a very unassuming young man, isn't he? He's very quiet. I met him really for the first time at the APP World Tour in
London.
London. That experience we had.
20 mixed experience.
Mixed
2022.
experience, yeah.
I mean,
And we met him, and he was very, he's fairly quiet when you meet him. Maybe he's quite shy, very unassuming, and he had an inflatable board. And yet, when you then look into someone and what they've done and who they are, it's just quite incredible. He's a very experienced young man in water sports.
Yes, absolutely, and I talked about doing the channel and the crossing. He's also paddled Zambezi as well, because as I mentioned, he's got that whitewater background, which he's carried across from kayak to SUP. So he's got an impressive selection of things that he's been up to over the years.
Absolutely. So who is this? Katie, then after Andrea, Vanessa and Matt from Base Up, who are all doing brilliantly. I haven't actually seen Andrea. I've seen her, but
I think
not
I think
recently.
you were doing your shuttle run to get your papers when
Okay.
she came in, but
Okay.
I tried my best by by supporting her. But yeah, the Base Up crew. I used to be a member of Base Up back in the day, so they come from down my way, train on my one of my favourite surf beaches. So they will definitely not go under remarked. And you've just been out with Andrea, haven't you, to Italy?
Yep, Andrea and Sarah and I went for a little mini break, which was centred around a race, so the ICF World Ranking event in Camacchio in Italy, which was absolutely beautiful in the Po Delta region, so near to Venice, an hour's drive from Venice. And it was a cracking event, but we also went for a little sort of girls' break as well, stayed a little bit extra, did some sightseeing. But the racing was really good, and our 50-plus women absolutely rock. Never, never, never believe that you are too old to get involved in sport. And age categories are a wonderful thing because you're competing against, you know, all these women could have competed in the open class. You're then competing against the 22-year-old who is phenomenal. You will be phenomenal at age 50, so just compete in your age category. It's just amazing. So our 50-plus women absolutely rocked. In the tech and the sprints, we had 4 women through to the final out of 8 women. So, I mean, the final was just half of British girls. It was amazing.
Well, exactly. I mean, my personal highlight of the entire championships was the Kahuna class, and that was the result I was really looking out for. And I think we had a British winner there as well, didn't we?
We did, yeah. SUP Junkie or something she was called. She went along.
Never heard of her.
Went along for a little bit of fun, went to support the event actually, and there was an inflatable class and they had age categories. They even had a grand kahuna, but I slipped into that kahuna class and I won, which was great. I borrowed a board from some lovely people out there, J-Bay Zone, check them out if you're in Italy. Great inflatable boards, and it was a blast, and the whole event was a blast. You know, there's always little bits that you can that some people might complain about. There's always something that someone will find wrong, but on the whole it was a cracking event, and I took loads of photos actually. It was really nice not to be there working. I just picked up the camera when I wanted to. So if you want to check out some of my photographs, have a look on supjunkie.uk. I think there's just about 300 there. It was a great event and our girls did amazingly. Ginny Betts won 3 golds, Sarah Perkins won 2 silvers, and I won a gold, which was bonkers in the inflatable class. Crazy. But our 50-plus girls, Annie Rinsell-Smith, Andrea, Sarah Perkins and Ginny Betts were phenomenal. And Lydia Clifton, her first international event, she's been training down with with Ginny down in Kernow. She went to her first event and she paddled incredibly well. She's such a strong paddler. She's right up there in the 14-foot class in the UK, and she paddled so well and had a great learning experience, and yeah, got through to a final or 2. But yeah, just a really lovely event.
Yeah. Great vibes it looked like from the week.
It was.
And you had a nice come down afterwards, didn't it? You did a bit of exploring.
Yep, and there were 350 paddlers there because it was an ICF World Ranking event. If you're in the open class and you won, you get a bye straight through to the World Championships. So yeah, it means you don't have to go through certain criteria when you get there, or certain heats. So 350 paddlers. You've got from the very, very top paddlers like Rita Gucci and Cecilia Pampinella, and just some incredible paddlers there. And then you had juniors, anything from under 12s to 15, 16-year-olds, and then the actual junior competitors, the younger ladies like the 18-year-olds. So huge amount of juniors, and a cracking event run by Delta SUP. So again, Delta SUP, who put this event on. It's been running for 7 years, and it's for the last 2 years it's been a world ranking event for the ICF. And the event site was just amazing. It was a sort of sports camp, so lots of teenagers there doing all different sports, but the setup of the event site was just amazing. It couldn't have been more convenient. We just plopped ourselves there at the beginning of the week and almost didn't leave, you know, until we did our sightseeing. So it was really well set up for all those paddlers in that event. So well done to them for doing that.
And you met the Italian paddler who won the first last paddler standing.
Paolo.
Paolo.
Yes.
So for people who don't understand or know the history of SUP 12, the SUP 12 event, it was very much inspired by a US race called Last Paddler Standing, which has its own format, slightly different to SUP 12, but there have been some sort of quite incredible stories coming out of all of these ultra level events, and Last Paddler Standing is no different, particularly this year, which was particularly spectacular. Let me just actually, because we've had some popular requests here for what's happening with Craig. There is Craig. Skip says I love you. Skip.
I love you as well, Craig.
There's lots of love. Skip, I'm not sure whether you actually said that you love him or not, but I'm.
We passed on that love.
yeah.
So here comes Bruce. Well done, Bruce.
Well done, Bruce. Keep going. All right.
So yeah, last paddler standing is. Someone said to me the other day that race directors are. What was the word he used?
Sadistic.
Sadistic, yes. And I sort of think he's right. So, Greg Wingo, who is the director of, I think, the Alabama 650 as well, and Last Paddler Standing, wanted to create a race which not only push your body, but push your mind as well.
Yeah.
So not just once you're gone, you're gone. You literally have to come in and wait. So Last Paddler Standing is paddling every hour, 5K.
It's sort of round about that sort of distance. It's
2.5 miles or something, wasn't
yeah.
it?
So it's enough to be sort of relatively easy, but to chip away at you over the course of 2 days, as it turns out.
Absolutely, and you have to stop. You have to come in, and you have to stop until the bell goes for the next hour. So it's literally starting on every hour you start your lap. So you can come in, and if you've paddled quite fast that lap, you will get a little bit longer to rest and recuperate. And the race went on for 48 hours, but Paolo won it year one. What was very incredible about Paolo, and he has done SUP 11 cities, but he's a fantastic racer. He did really well in Italy, actually, recently, and he was there with his family, Suzak, and his little baby, Killian, I think his name is. Very, very beautiful, beautiful family. And he won it. He was on his own. He didn't have any support. He'd flown over from Italy because Suzak had a small baby at that time. And he is a vegan. Some people believe that vegans don't have the strength for that kind of thing. And he was the youngest person as well in the whole field. And again, historically, with endurance paddling, people believe that you are stronger the older you get, the better you are at endurance events. So he sort of broke the mould a little bit for that. I mean, it was the first time that race had been run, but he sort of set the mould for that race.
I mean, I think Last Paddler Standing certainly sets a definition for sadistic race directors.
Well done. How's it going? Good. Good.
No complaints yet.
Oh no.
There we go. We've got Sarah coming ashore there. So yeah, just to carry on with Last Paddler Standing and the sadistic aspects, because you've been paddling for 48 hours, 48 laps. Here's Vera. There's a lot going on at the moment. Sarah with her inimitable walking style, which we get to recognise. Just loosening up there.
Okay, she's going out again. There was some doubt as to whether Sarah would go out. Actually,
yeah,
she's got a bit of a knee injury.
Oh shit!
There's Joe Jones. Go Joe!
Still running.
So yeah, Last Paddler Standing, it is really a test of the mind as well. Well done, Julia. Good girl.
So after 48 hours, the size of the course increases. So it's no longer 3.5 miles. Yeah, and then it goes up to 5. So after 48 hours, people are forced to a standstill. But if people don't make the course within that hour, then the race wins.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so I'm not sure how much sense that actually makes. It doesn't make any sense to me when I'm actually watching it. But what it does lead to is a fantastic spectacle, and particularly, that last, the last hour is quite something, because everyone's wrestling with sleep deprivation. They're obviously exhausted, and there are pluses and minuses. If you come in within the hour and you bed down for 10 minutes just to grab a rest. I mean, there's stories of people settling down to sleep within their hour, setting their alarm, accidentally switching it off,
One
and
man.
then waking up.
One man did that, and that was really, really horrific for him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then this year, well, Paolo is back actually for this year, so that will be great to see him back. He had the year off last year, and there was a beautiful moment this last year. So there were 2 men left for the longer lap, weren't there? And it was a really, really beautiful moment. I think it was Blake Carmichael and Alex Samoa. I'm not sure I've got his name right. Alex, I think it's Samoa.
You'll have to forgive us on the live stream if you don't get all of this absolutely accurate, but it's
But they basically, there were 2 of them left, and we all watching, and we'd been watching it for 48 hours, and it's the slowest race in the world, but it's the most exhilarating and tense race to watch. And at the end of this race, there were 2 men who were going to paddle out for their last race. There goes Don Moore, for their last lap, or potentially last lap. And Alex came over and spoke to Blake quietly on the beach and basically said, can you paddle this lap? And Blake said, yes, I can. He said, well, please paddle it, and I am stepping back. And he basically, if they both raced out and both missed the cut, the race would have won, and that's not really what anybody wants. It's a great quirky end to have for a race, but actually it's not what you want. So Alex, if you watched any of the live feed with Alex on, he just comes across as the most beautiful, beautiful man. Oh, Kevin!
beautiful man.
Beautiful man, and he stepped back to let Blake win, and Blake was again, I think, the youngest competitor in the race. So 2 years running, there's been a young person winning it. So there goes Tanya, who's just come in, and we've got Marie just behind her. So really, really exciting.
So that.
Well done, Marie.
Keep going.
Good girl. Mark sends his love. Go, go, go.
So we're catching up on the messages here. John Oliver, great to have you on board. And message for you from Sarah here. Sarah, lots of Sarahs. Already booked the time off work to watch all of last paddler standing. Sarah, are you coming to Cardiff SUP race this year? Would love to volunteer my help. So
who is that, Sarah?
That's from Sarah Baker.
Sarah Baker. Thank you so much, Sarah Baker. Yes, get in touch with, if you'd like to volunteer for GB SUP, I think if you go on their website, which is gbsup.co.uk, there is a volunteer form. So, or you can, message Scotty Warren directly and email GB SUP, and please put your hand up for volunteering at an event. That is brilliant news, because these events are run purely on volunteers, which is just fabulous, and it can be it's never a thankless task, but it can be jolly hard work, and it's great to have that support and people who want to help. So thank you so much, Sarah, and yes, I'll see you in Cardiff.
There we go.
Well escaped.
There we go. So fabulous. So we are cracking.
So who is this coming in? Let's see if we can give this young lady a shout out. It's Claire Terry. So Claire was here last year and had to stop at a certain point, and she was, I think, quite disappointed that she'd had to stop. She's on a different board this year. I think they've been swapping and loaning boards to Vera and Tanya, actually, Fox and Claire. So shout out to them for their help with those 2 girls from.
Well done, Claire.
Claire, good job.
Keep going.
How's it going?
Only another 10 hours to go.
Well done, Ollie.
Yeah, so we're here to answer any questions you have if you're just joining us or not. We are at SUP 12.
We are at SUP 12, and we've been here for Not very long. Not very long, and we've got a little way to go. So if you don't know what SUP 12 is, thank you so much for joining. Oh, and can I ask you again, if you're watching this and loving it, maybe share it somewhere on some SUP page that you might think will appreciate it. So that would be really, really lovely, and then we can get some other people watching. John Moore, I don't know whether you're a relative of Don Moore. We like to tie up some names here, so do let us know if you are, but if you are, he's doing well. So
very, very high energy coming through. He's still running up the steps, so yeah, he's
yeah, we'll give him a shout out for you, Rich, don't you worry. We shall shout him out. So if anybody wants to support the event in another way, you can look on the Shorties website, and he has got all the
merch.
All the merch. He's got merch for SUP 12, and any he will be putting money towards the Above Water charity as well for Brendan. So that's really lovely. It's a great thing to do, and his kit is fantastic. You can just see Brendan in front there with a SUP 12 hoodie on this year's SUP 12 colours, and you can see. And
your hat is.
And my hat, look, my hat is also made by Shorties. This is the first one in the country at the moment. This is my personal hat with embroidery on. So we're going to get. We've got our own merchandise on with Mark as well. It was really nice to swap over from a sort of generic, really good generic t-shirt producer, but we've now gone with our local small business, supporting Mark, and we've got a lot more choice of kit that we can, we've got leggings and caps, which we couldn't have before, so, and the kit is fabulous, isn't it? Whoop! The water's coming in again. The softest hoodies and the softest t-shirts, bamboo t-shirts, all sustainable, so do go and check out Shorties Supwear.
And while we're flogging merchandise and clothing on this channel, it's a bit like the sales channel, isn't it? Hutch Supwear, which was a brand I started 10 years ago. Stepping out of that area now, and we've got 20% off at hutchsupwear.co.uk. So
proper retro kit, yours, isn't it?
It is
proper.
proper.
It's been around for a long time. I really like the styling of it as well. So
thank you. It's all water-based print, and it's proper retro stuff. So when it's gone, it's gone. It's a chance to pick up. I think we were the first one to coin the phrase Supwear. So everyone is using it now. So absolutely,
head of your time, Simon.
Absolutely. But anyway, so we're back on the beach as we. That was just a commercial break.
QVC channel.
Exactly. More later.
Let's have a chat with Jonathan. Jonathan. Oh no, he's doing work at the moment. He's working. Well done, number 9, Katie. Well done. How's it going? Hard work. Yeah.
Did they not tell you that it was? I blame Sarah for that.
Well done. Keep going. I can never remember who this. Well done, Paul. Good job.
Well done, Paul. There you go.
Number 4 is, this could be one of 2 people. So Alec, I think that is Alex. So he's doing the relay with. Hello, well done, young man. How's it going?
It's pretty windy, actually.
Got time to have a chat?
Yeah, a little chat.
Okay, just a wee chat. Now we do have to shout because there's a bit of wind and we're on the live feed. So
there's hardly any wind here compared without that.
Well, actually,
you're sheltered by the wall.
Well, there you go. So Phil Plume's just asked, weather looks great. What's the wind like out on the course? So you've kind of just answered that one.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty brutal coming in.
So it's
there's quite a lot of chop, which is why everybody's choosing to come inshore, across.
So sort of coming in like a banana and then out to the buoy.
Right under the rocks on the far side, which is pretty dark, nice and flat, and then across the bay, and using a bit of the wind to take you back out to the turning mark.
okay, well that's great information. So, but how many laps have you done? Do you know or no?
4, I think.
Okay,
We'll tell you on your next one in.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, well thanks for the
well, this one's for Will, my paddle buddy, who had a serious injury. So
okay.
yeah,
all right.
We've done a lot of paddling together, and we had a fly to the Yukon.
Oh.
And then, sadly,
Is this his way of getting out of it?
It's a pretty dramatic way, yeah. Airlifted to hospital. And,
Oh, okay. Well, Will, if you're watching or you watch it later...
I think Will be there.
Okay.
This one's for you, Will.
This one's for you, Will, so that's really nice to get well soon, Will. We
So-
wish you all the best of luck.
And Peter's on there. Hello, Dave Partridge, doing it for us old blokes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Coffin doctors, as Carl Hobbs calls you. Us.
The rocks over there, screaming every time I come out.
Well done, how lovely. So that's interesting to hear about the wind, isn't it? And that is a case in point of how dangerous paddling on the sea can be, isn't it? Because for us here, we're absolutely sheltered by what's behind us. We really can't feel the wind. Because we're now up by the concrete path, we are beautifully sheltered. And yeah, feels great, doesn't it? You're just about to go on your paddleboard on the beach and, pump it up, off we go. And 50, 100 metres out, suddenly you're off to France.
Yeah, absolutely. And you may well know or not that me and Sarah and Brenton and various others have been involved in various sort of SUP safety initiatives. And we were at a meeting up in the Midlands, I don't know, last year at some time. And there was a striking photo shared with us by the RNLI. And it was a photo taken on the beach down in Studland, which is quite near where I am. And it looked, and it was a picture of two paddleboarders just about to go out on the water. In the background, it looked absolutely beautiful. It looked like it could have been in the Caribbean. But behind it, you could see that the water was really dark. And again, it comes down to this wind shadow business.
Well done, Jonathan. Well done.
We've got Jonathan, who thinks it's amazing.
That's great.
Yeah, which is great. And he would be right, actually. So anyway, I guess the point is that that you can't really tell what the conditions are until you're actually out there. But one way of assessing it is by looking at the patterns on the water. Well done, Chris.
Yeah, patterns on the water. What do you call them? Cat's
Cat's paws.
Cat's paws, is it?
I
Here's PJ back in for another lap. Looking pretty sprightly.
Yeah, he's doing well, isn't he?
Bouncing up those steps. Maybe this is a good way to get rid of that cold, get that cold out of his system.
Yeah, he's not looking hugely affected by it, I've got to say.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, just when you're out down at the sea, just take care, ask the advice, look at the apps, and if you don't know how the app works and you don't know what the wind means, just ask someone who has got that knowledge. Maybe not Facebook.
Maybe not Facebook, because the worst advice that you see on there is check the winds and the tides, and frankly that is worse than useless.
Yeah.
So
it's just better to, if you're down at your local beach, go and find the local paddleboarding shop or hire company or the lifeguards if you go to a lifeguarded beach, and ask them about it, and maybe do a tidal nav course or whatever. But
well, I mean, an offshore wind and a strong one is usually not a great thing, particularly if you're a novice paddleboarder. So never go out in an offshore wind would be my advice on that one. And
well done, Neil. Keep going. Good job. I've got your name on my list. I'm not
no, your legend is out there.
gone before you.
Yes, exactly. How's it been?
Well done, Lee. Good job.
It's all on the right side, is it, coming across that way? Yeah.
I will be falling in at some point, I'm sure.
Well, you've lasted this far, exactly.
See you soon.
See ya.
Bye. Well done. Should we have a little chat with Karen?
Well, why not? I'll tell you what, why don't I'm going to go and grab something I'm going to grab some water.
Okay.
And I will leave you with
Karen.
the legend. So there we go.
Karen. Hello. Would you like to be on the live feed? Of course you would.
I'm waiting for Bruce to get a new leash on his board.
Oh, what's happened to the old one?
No idea. I think a bit of Velcro's maybe slipping and it'll come off. I think last lap.
Oh, okay,
So
and he
slowed
doesn't
him
need
down
that, does
a little
it?
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm here with Karen Greener, who is Bruce's partner. So you decided not to paddle today, and I think you probably made a really good choice.
Yeah.
Everybody's coming and saying it's very windy out there, so and it's going to be tough. So you thought you'd stay here, and you can now give your full support to Bruce, can't
So
you?
you'll not worry about me now. You
Yeah.
can just do what he enjoys
because
doing.
he would worry about you. So we've got Kaz coming in here. So you're going to wait here and swap.
Swap leashes for Bruce.
Okay. And how's he feeling?
He's just he never says anything.
He just keeps
going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's good.
he's looking good though.
He is looking
coming
good.
in
He's
now.
looking strong.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well done, Kaz.
Well
good job.
done.
So we've got. Have you been watching the girls as well? You're watching the little battle between Tanya and. Have you met
Marie.
Tanya before?
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
She's an amazing paddler. She's done the SUP 11 cities 6 times, won once, second 3 times.
And Marie's sneaking up, isn't she?
And Marie, I think there's going to be a good battle between the two of them. So
Yeah.
really exciting to watch 2 strong girls and have those, women come over from Germany and Switzerland or Sweden.
Really good, isn't it, for the event though?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, he's in. I'm going to put the leash on.
Off you go, my darling.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll speak to you later. So let's have a little. Let me just have a little. I'll turn back there so that you can see the action instead of looking at my face. Here's Bruce. I think. Off he goes. So. Oh my goodness. So we've got Brendan Prince, board butler, who is just literally holding the boards, waiting for people to come and take them back. So this is the sort of help. I don't know if you heard earlier, but he's lost a few of his board butlers because they're rugby players and their rugby match was swapped to today from last week. So he's lost a few board butlers. So Karen is going to get that board sorted out. So let's have a little look and see what is going on. Yeah, happy birthday, Karen Greener, for yesterday. So Bruce is doing well. Get in the pocket. Okay, so that's very interesting information from you, Mark. Yes, so 10 shout-outs in a weekend with strong offshore winds. As you say, look at the flags, look at forecast, talk. If in doubt, don't go out. That's really good advice, Mark. Thank you for that. And if you don't know, there is no reason, if you've never had anything to do with the ocean before or paddleboarding, there is no reason that you should know anything about the wind and tides. What you don't know, and it's really good to ask and get that information. Get it from local people. They know their area, they know their spot. If there's an RNLI locally, go and have a chat with them and just see what sort of conditions you should be paddling in. Much better to do that than much better to do that than have to be rescued. And thank the Lord that they are there to rescue us without any questions. Jamie Harmon, hi, how are you doing? Good. So that is Jamie Harmon from Red Paddle Co. Did a beautiful little film about his journey on Loch Ness. So check that out. But yeah, Jamie has been with Red Paddle for a very long time, and really nice to see him at this event. So that's a great image there, isn't it? Brendan just standing in the water surrounded by boards. Looks like there's going to be some yoga going down. So yeah, do take care on the coast and just get yourself some knowledge. And if you don't know what, if someone says don't go out in an offshore wind, if you don't know what that means, ask them. What do they mean? What are the signs? The signs that I can show you here, if you look at a flag just here, it's blowing that way. Basically, an offshore wind means the wind is coming from the shore and it's going off the shore. Now, that may sound a really stupid thing to say and very self-explanatory, but throwing comments around like offshore wind, to someone who doesn't know, they just don't know what it means. So offshore literally means what it says on the tin. The wind is blowing off the shore onto the water. And here, we've got protection. We've got protection here So the wind will come and then it will drop down onto the sea, and that's where you get into trouble. And you can see all the wind blowing on the, the dark shadows on the water are a bit of a giveaway as well. If you look here, you can see the sort of slightly calmer nearer the shore, and then you get these black squally bits, which means that the wind is now dropped down and is on the sea, and that's when you get into trouble. So that's our safety advice given for the day. Happy paddling to you all, and enjoy the paddling, and don't let it scare you. Get out there on the water and get some knowledge and enjoy the paddling.
Absolutely, and if you want to read water, then there's a fantastic book by a chap called Tristan Gooley, who I'm trying to cultivate a friendship with at the moment, but he's written a number of books about the natural world, and he's written this brilliant one, How to Read Water, and I spoke to him on the podcast. So it's really worth, because you do get sort of real insight into conditions and things like what Sarah just mentioned. The fact that up here close to the wall, in the wind shadow, it looks almost glassy, whereas it's a lot more sort of dark and foreboding out the back there.
Yeah, and actually out the back there, I don't know whether you can see it on the screen because we are quite far away, but there are quite a few people paddling on their knees across that section, and that means that wind is really catching them side on, and causing them enough problems to paddle on their knees. Now, a new rule for this year is that anybody who paddles on their knees, and Brendan doesn't want he wants it to be an inclusive event, and if there are certain times you need to paddle on your knees, so be it. But if you paddle on your knees, you cannot podium in this event, because that really wouldn't be fair, because you can gain an advantage by paddling on your knees. You can actually sometimes go faster than other people, and this is a tough race, and it really should be won by those people who are doing what it says on the tin, stand-up paddleboarding. So if you paddle on your knees, you really have to, oops, nearly forgot his knees. Well done. You really should admit to that, and say that you shouldn't have a podium.
Luckily, I don't think PJ or Bruce are likely to be paddling on their knees.
Absolutely not. So here comes Johnny in the hat here. That's his Instagram handle, and he is on a shark SUP board, which I think has got a carbon nose. He did, or he's going to do a review on boards which are inflatable but have a carbon nose. And he's doing that for SUP Boarder Mag. So Johnny works with SUP Boarder and does quite a lot of reviews. He's really good at them and very thorough, and he is doing or has done a review on that. So he's using Shark SUP, and he is also using an Oscar propulsion paddle.
There you go, all the tech.
All the gear, and he's a very good paddler as well. So he's got a lot of idea.
There's the race director, as he likes to do. Yes.
We might get sacked.
Yeah, we might get sacked. We need to maybe be a bit quieter on that one. So Johnny, I think, also took part in Race for Rivers, didn't he, in the summer?
Yes, he did. Yes.
He had probably one of the less prized days, which
yes, he did. He really did.
Horizontal rain and wind, whereas
5 days, I think, as well.
I think he did. Whereas we had a rather idyllic
couple of days on the river with Skip. Yes.
Yeah. So Race for Rivers. Obviously, those of you sort of coming to this outside the UK, you may be aware that our water system is not quite what it should be, with the result that quite a significant amount of effluent finds its way into the rivers and lakes and so on, and causes all sorts of problems for our wildlife and our health generally. So that was part of a campaign. Lizzie Carr, who's been a real campaigner for that, had a paddleboard mission from, it was, where do we start?
Godalming.
Yep. Godalming, all the way up by river, up to Penrith in the Lake District, taking water samples every 10k or so. So here he is, he's the man, he's still running. Look at this, fantastic. There we go. Thumbs up. That's a good sign. Got the energy to raise the thumbs, then that's positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Race for Rivers, great campaign, and we did a bit of wild camping, didn't we?
We did. We had Skip with us, so he found us the best spot next to the riverway, which was beautiful. And all the water was tested along this whole route. I think it was something like 450 kilometres, was it?
That's right.
And it was all tested, and there is a report out now that you can look at. So look at Planet
Patrol.
On Planet Patrol.
On Planet Patrol.
On Planet Patrol. Changed their name, and it really still catches me out, which is really naughty. It shouldn't, but it does.
Yes, absolutely. But no, it was a fantastic initiative, and obviously focused the fact. I think that there's quite a bit of activity going on in the UK at the moment. There is a paddle out protest happening shortly with Surfers Against Sewage as well. Notice the locations of that have come out relatively recently. So they're happening all around the country, just to obviously protest the water conditions, because it's pretty shocking that things are as they are.
Yes, they are. But people like Lizzie are just highlighting it. I think she was on the TV this week, so that might be worth trying to catch up as well. I think she's from ITV. Well done, Sarah.
One more lap. One more lap. Yes.
Yeah, so she's doing some really good stuff, is Lizzie, and highlights that she's an MBE, she's been to Parliament, she's taken many votes and all her findings to Parliament. So she's
and the clever thing for Lizzie was getting after the data early. I mean, data is not necessarily the most glamorous subject in the world, but you can't get things going without it. So through her app, she captured, and through everyone else who's using the Planet Patrol app, you can log your litter and use that as leverage against companies whose products end up being left all over the place. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a really good app. Download it, and then you can, as Simon said, you can take photographs of the litter, and then that just proves who are the real bad boys. So the Coca-Colas, the Pepsis of this world. I'm not throwing those names out there lightly. They are.
Yeah.
They are those people, and it really puts pressure on those companies to, I don't know, stop producing.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is,
or to pay in to get it dealt with.
Yeah.
But the idea of the Race for Rivers was more looking at the sort of chemicals. So we found in our stretch we didn't see too much litter, too many plastic bottles or anything there. But the results from the chemical reads were pretty awful. So the River Wey is in a very prosperous area of England. In Surrey and sort of green commuter belt and so on, but it failed all the measurements.
It's pretty shocking, and it's so beautiful. You just look at it and it's just stunning, and it's filthy. It's filthy. Very sad. So yeah, and do support people like Surfers Against Sewage as well, because they're doing some incredible stuff to put pressure on the government and the water companies to smarten their act up, because they're not doing that at the moment. So it's good to get involved in all this stuff.
Good stuff. Right, okay, so Tanya's just gone back out. This is Marie ripping it up again
Well
on
done,
this.
Marie, doing well. Good girl.
Ripping it up on the beach. We've got some.
So that means that Tanya's quite a little way ahead of Marie.
She is. It opened a gap.
Yep, opened a
But
gap again.
I don't stop me if you've heard this before. It's a marathon, not
a sprint. Everybody have a drink.
Everyone have a drink. Skip.
Finally. Look. What? Woo! Wet feet. You superstar.
That's a double espresso with milk, cocktail, WP. Is that right? You're amazing. Simon, either a latte or a flat white. I don't know what you might want.
I didn't give the.
What was his?
Americano.
Oh, sorry, mate.
That's all right. It's
I'll
coffee.
know for next time.
Next time. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Apologies for interrupting the live stream. As you've heard, it's been a landmark event. The coffee has arrived.
A landmark moment with the coffee. Thank you, darling. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Right, so
Go, Ollie.
right. Let's. We've neglected the comments for a while.
Oh yes, let's see who's chipped in.
Oh, we've got one here from the Great Big Paddle Parade. Now, I think I know who that is.
Yes, good morning, Sean. How are you doing? We're hoping you're going to come down and, I don't know if you're too busy, but whether you could come down and have that squeeze. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure about Simon. But yeah, we had a little chat this morning, and check out the Great Big Paddle Parade.
Absolutely, a fantastic event. The first one was last year, wasn't it?
Yep.
And quite a spectacular one. And again, turning this area of the country into a real stand-up paddleboard destination.
And actually, that's the last time I was at this beach, was at the Great Big Paddle Parade, because it comes past here and goes to our right. But yeah, I think that's open. The date's been released, so get that in your diary. Do look for the Great Big Paddle Parade, now being run by Sean from Soak Lifestyle. So check it out. It's a great, and they want to get to 1,000 paddlers this year. They want to break a few records.
Brilliant stuff. So we've got a few comments. I think there's one on there from Phil, which is absolutely right. People tell me it's common sense, but if you don't have the knowledge, then you can't apply common sense. I've been doing some research for an episode of the SUP FM podcast around the human factors in safety, and it's quite an interesting subject. Well, it is for me particularly.
Yep.
But people don't know what they don't know. And people don't realise that they don't know what they don't know as well, which is even more dangerous, particularly for new starters to the sport. So I guess that also applies as much to experienced paddlers as inexperienced paddlers.
Yep.
Because you might see conditions that you might assume from your own experience is okay, but whereas maybe not. There we go. Sorry, there's a bit of a coffee related.
That's all right. We're trying to keep it straight. We haven't got the gimbal today. The gimbal uses up too much power, too many battery packs. So we're doing a handheld. So if we're a little bit on the wonk, do excuse us.
Yeah.
But we've now got our coffee. So what's the time on the scoreboard there? Let's see how long these paddlers have been paddling. We've got a time here. 9:24. That means they've been going for 2 hours and 24 minutes. Is that real? That means we've been going for 2 hours and 24 minutes.
Unless I blacked out for a while.
That's crazy. How time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, well, there you go.
2.5 hours. Incredible. So we hope you're still watching. We hope you're going to dip in and out throughout the day. And as we said earlier, we've got some incredible guests on later. You'll just be so excited, like we will be so excited. We've got some really, really good guests, four amazing guests who are going to drop in individually and have a chat with us. And so thank you very much for that comment, Phil, because that is absolutely right. It's if you don't know, you don't know, and please don't be afraid of asking.
So again, referring back to winds, the confusing thing is the southwest wind refers to the direction it's coming from, not the direction it's blowing. Absolutely, I think that one catches people out. But an offshore wind is always an offshore wind. It's blowing offshore. So,
and that is the most dangerous one,
exactly.
To be fair. So, but yes, it is a very confusing thing. And what you don't want to do is to go and get help and assistance in that. Good night, darling.
So Skip is heading for bed. That's
he's in Costa Rica, and he is. Hang on a minute. PJ bouncing back up those steps. Crispin coming in here. So okay. So are we thinking that?
I think I'm going to need to go and commune with the van.
I think that's a really good idea.
I'll see whether I can dial in. I'll go and
okay, cool.
I'll go up to the van.
Well done, Crispin. Good job. Good, thank you. So Crispin was watching last year. He was watching the live feed, and he actually came on to the live feed, and we had a little chat. And he was so inspired by what he saw that he decided to come and do it this year, and that's great. He's not raced for 5 years. He used to do the shorter races, GB SUP National Series, UK National Series, and he's come along to have a play. So he's got his homemade energy balls that he made with his little boy Remy yesterday or a couple of days ago, and so you can see PJ running here. He is coming back to his board, and the sun is coming out. It's absolutely beautiful. We are so blessed. Bear with me while I just put something down. So if we go a bit wonky, I'm just putting something down. So let's have a look and see who's online. Okay, Kathy, thank you for that. It'll be nice to see you later. Come and say hello. We will not let Craig paddle on his knees for sure. Definitely not. That is not allowed from that man. When you paddle the Yukon, that's not what you should be doing. Okay, so Skip's gone to bed. Amy Carpenter, hello. All right, Phil, we'll see you later. Lizzie outside, thank you very much for sharing that. That's brilliant. And also, if someone can look up the timing, which should be on. I'm just trying to look and see if I can get it because I haven't. My memory serves me not well. If you can look on above water, and there should be somewhere where you can follow all the timing. And if someone could maybe share it as a link on this page, maybe Peter, that'd be really helpful. Thank you so much. Oh, nice. Laura, we look forward to seeing you later. Elaine Twiddy, hello, welcome. Go Coffees, absolutely. Rebecca Fox, Sarah Baker, well done, here for the duration. I think you're going to get the prize, my lovely, for watching all day. Gift to the cab. Let me just see, we've got another few paddlers. I'm just trying to keep up with the messages. Yeah, Phil, you're right. Sorry, I had forgotten that. I had, Crispin did do the 11 cities. I think I mentioned that earlier, but I'd forgotten he's done the Great Glen. He's great on endurance. Equally, he is brilliant on, he used to be brilliant on the smaller races. But yes, that man has done endurance, so he absolutely should give a good account of himself here. And he looks pretty fresh, he looks well. So that's great. Andrew Finn, thank you so much for watching. So another comment from Mark. I'm just trying to see all of the comments. Yep, it's catch people out, so sea breeze on a lovely summer's day, and then the thermal impact can absolutely catch you out. So wind historically gets up a little bit later in the day. Catherine Sawyer, hello Catherine. SUP FM is watching, that's cool. Alison Snell, hello everybody. Declan, thank you so much for watching. So the sun is out, we've just had PJ go past, and we've got Bruce just coming in. He's had a mend on his leash. Come on, little legs. Oh, Bruce has been swimming. PJ has just gone round. Crispin. We've got Simon is actually going to go over and look at the scores on the doors. So we've got the timing van here, which is really helpful. So it gives you some really interesting stats. It gives you the laps they've done, the times it's taken them to do those laps, and who's in the lead, and it's fascinating. We will go and wander up there a bit later, but for the moment Simon has gone and he's going to check out the scores on the doors. So young Ben Green there, he arrived very late this morning. His alarm didn't go off, so he was a bit sleepy-eyed. But the joy of this race is that you can start at any time. So if I fancied having a go now, if I'd entered, I could actually get on the water now and paddle around a few laps and said, you know, I've done the 11 cities. I've done SUP 12. So it's great that if you have overslept, you can still join in. You're not DQ'd. So Bruce is here running back. He's got a slow, steady run, and he will be back on his board. Struggling a bit with that leash. There's Chris McDonald. Go, Chris. Well done. Couple of girls here coming back. That's Pinky Paddles with the pink hair. Claire Terry there in the middle. Well done to her. You've got George there. And I'm not sure about that young lady with the pink visor on, but I can find out who it is. A beautiful day, but the conditions out there are quite tough. So we've got a few people who are not used to those conditions who are kneeling along the long stretch. Because that's the toughest stretch at the moment. We've got an offshore wind, and obviously it's much windier out there than it is here. So those 5 people back on the water. We will see we know who's in the lead. We've got PJ in the lead for the boys and Tanya Ecker for the girls, and very closely followed up by Bruce and Marie. So those people you would definitely pull out of a hat. Hi Sarah Louise, how you doing? Welcome to the crazy world of SUP 12. We are so blessed with this weather. The paddlers not so much, it's a bit breezy out there, but nothing that won't, that will stop them basically. It's just tough, and it'll be tough coming in here as well up to the yellow buoy. Coming around this headland apparently is quite gnarly. So there's Chris McDonald, he's getting back on the board. He's been in Saudi Arabia for a year, teaching or getting together a SUP racing team, and we last saw him at the ISA World Championships in Sablé-d'Olonne in France in October. So he's done a good job, and he's got a lot of skills under his belt, has Chris. Whitewater, kayaking, canoeing, I think windsurfing, all sorts. And here he is on a paddleboard joining us at SUP 12. So let me know where you're from, people, what you're doing, what you like doing. Would you do this event? Does this inspire you to do this event? How far do you think you go? 3.5k per lap. Every lap you have to stop and walk up here past your station, which is, they're all lined along there, right to the end, and then back down on the steps, back on your board, and out you go again. Would you do this event? How do you think you'd do? Yeah. We're at a different location as well, because the location was supposed to be in Torbay, and unfortunately it's not so much the weather, but the height of the water would have meant for very dangerous exit points. So the height of the water could well have been up here and actually coming onto the competitors area. So Brendan didn't think that was very, very safe. So last week changed here, and I have to say it's absolutely beautiful here. We like it here. We think it's, we quite prefer it actually. So happy days. You know what it's like. People don't particularly like change. They're like, oh, we like what we know. And I think everybody's going to think this is the best place in the world. Hi, Carl Whitworth. Thank you very much for watching. Neil, welcome. Right, what have we got?
Well, we weren't entirely successful at getting to confirm that we're part of this. We might have to do a little camera test in a second.
Okay.
But I do have some figures here. Obviously.
Oh, okay. I now understand what you're saying. So, hang on a minute. Hi, Diane. Thank you so much for watching. Andrew, welcome. Hi, Enzo. How are you doing?
So maybe we can do a little bit of an experiment on this.
Oh no! Look, I just ignored you.
Oh,
I didn't realise you were going to do it. So.
Utterly typical. That's absolutely appalling.
So Simon had buzzed off to the timing van and was going to link into this live video and talk me through it, but I totally ignored him. I just said, "Oh, SUP FM is watching." I just didn't realise that I was going to bring him online. So, shall we experiment again?
Well, okay, let's do it.
But let's have a
let's have a quick download. So in terms of the ladies, first of all, obviously Tanya is in first place at the moment with a lap count.
Hang on,
6.
let's turn this round. Right, Tanya with a lap count of 6.
Yeah, and she's covered 21 kilometres so far.
Wow.
With a fastest lap of 19:51. So absolutely nailing it. Marie obviously on the same lap count at the moment. They're both out there at the moment. And her fastest lap is 20.07. So there's only 15 seconds difference in terms of that fastest lap. In terms of the slowest lap, Tanya's on 24 and Marie is 26. So she obviously lost a bit of space on one of those laps particularly, but they're still effectively neck and neck out there.
Okay.
It's quite a tight field within the ladies. So we've got, so they're on 6 laps, and then behind them we've got Vanessa Knowles on 5.
Brilliant.
So fastest 22, slowest 29. We've got Vera from Sweden. So she's also on 5, fastest 24, slowest 29. So sort of 2 minutes slower on the faster lap, but slowest lap sort of more or less the same. So and then moving across to the chaps, we've got PJ out. So the leaders are on 7 laps at the moment. PJ fastest lap 19:19, and then slowest lap 21. So that's a pretty decent consistency.
Absolutely.
And then Bruce, his fastest lap is 20 seconds faster than PJ, so he's making it out there, but also his slowest lap is 22:58. So there's a bit more variance in Bruce's performance this year so far.
He was really steady last year,
yeah,
wasn't he?
and bearing in mind that we are still really early into the race, but there seems to be a bit of a variance at the top end and the low end. And just to say that 1 lap behind him, we've got Dom Hook, who's really doing well. Fastest lap 19:22, slowest lap 24. So he's really putting the performances.
Okay,
in,
Dom Hook, who I consistently call Dom Moore. He's not Dom Moore, he's Dom Hook.
And well, we shall.
Sorry, Dom Moore, you're not here.
We shall, certainly put that right, because he's doing a fantastic performance as well, and he's still looking pretty fresh as things go.
Right, let's flip that round and let us just sort out any more messages that are coming through. So nice of you to drop in. Ocean Pacific, Enzo there, do check them out. There's a great big paddle parade. Good morning, Simon. Paul Doe is watching, Mark Taylor. Okay, that's interesting. Marie grew up here, very, very locally, so there's a handprint of her hand in the concrete seawall. Okay, we need to go and find that. That's amazing information. Christian, thank you so much for watching. Sarah Baker, thank you, Sarah. You're a superstar. Shared the link for the timing.
Wonderful.
So that's brilliant.
Great.
So
that's really, really helpful.
Really helpful, thank you. And Katie, well done for doing that too. Nick Williams, Hester, please pause the live as I fear I may not get dressed today otherwise. No, it's not happening. Don't get dressed. Just stay in your,
we'll promise not to say anything exciting for the next. I mean, I don't know how long it takes you to get dressed. Should we say 2 minutes? Okay.
Mark Bell is watching, Paul Doe. Good morning, everybody. How lovely that you're all here. Because, we've been up for, I don't know what time you set your alarm for, but I was up at 5 this morning. We were down here, live feed at 7 o'clock. So for us at the moment, it feels probably like 12 o'clock. Hi, Sally. Hi, Amanda. Welcome to the live feed. I think we might get some new viewers coming in a little bit later because it is only 9:30 or something. So
when respectable people are getting up at about this time.
Exactly on a Saturday. Absolutely. So
should we do a bit of a revisit, a rehash as to where we are?
Yep, let's do that.
Well, first of all, where are we?
Oh, we're on Broad Sands Beach on beautiful Torbay.
We are, and we're having a great time. The sun is out. We need to keep aware of
look,
sun factor.
And the tide is still coming in. We've got our sun
I think we
factor,
need
so.
to beat a hasty retreat. Let's just get up here. Yeah. we're going to go and sit on our sofa. We've had one specially set up, and we've neglected it, haven't we?
We have. So let's go sit there for a minute. Assess, reassess, talk about the event, talk about what's happening. Yeah.
Look at this. There we go.
Well done, paddlers. Well done, Craig. Good job. Oh, that's nice.
That is very, very nice indeed.
So we're at the top of the steps here. We need to be aware of the sort of wind noise, I think. Well done, Johnny.
Prime condition to have a look at all those faces as they,
The faces
all those
of pain.
beautiful faces
Well
as
done.
they come up.
How you doing? Oh, good. Good, Eric. Yeah. Well done.
There we go. So, what were we talking about?
Oh.
We were doing So, where are we? We are.
So we are in at Broadsands Beach in the beautiful English Riviera. So just up the way, a few miles from Torbay. The event was moved here, and I have to say it is absolutely beautiful. It's a massive car park. There's all the beach huts. There's a couple of cafes, and everything is set up fantastically well for this event, isn't it?
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful, and there's a bit of controversy about changing the location. The reason was, related to the problem that we're experiencing at the moment. We're currently reaching high tide here, and the water has...
Well done, Joe. Well done, Tanya. Good job.
If you were with us at the start, this was a huge beach, wasn't it? And
Absolutely.
somehow...
Yeah,
due
somehow.
to the laws of physics,
And the moon, apparently.
I don't understand exactly why, but apparently there's a thing called the tide, and that's affected the size of the beach.
And it goes in and it goes out. And the beauty of the 12-hour, sorry to interrupt, what Brendan also wanted with his 12-hour race was for people to experience, hi Kaz, how's it going?
All right, I don't know how I managed to not fall off the mat. I got hit by a bit of a wave.
Woo! So it's whitewater skills, my lovely. Got skills, that girl. Well done. What was I saying?
If anyone can tell us in the comments what we were just saying, that would be really,
That's the
really
trouble.
useful.
You see someone you want to give a shout out to, and then all hell breaks loose.
And we're in the best spot, I guess, for spotting people as they come in. So we were talking about the tides and the fact that there's something...
So they go in and out. They go in and
we were
out.
talking about why the venue has changed since last year.
Yes.
So the venue was right in the centre of Tor's Abbey Sands, which is very, very central for the town and so on. Lots of passing people asking us what the hell's going on. And this is different, but because of the phase of the moon and so on, and the high tide, it would have been utter carnage getting boards out, because Tor Abbey Sands starts with concrete steps leading down into the water, and the tide level would have meant, and the wave conditions all
it would have been knocking on the door of the...
It would have been halfway up there, so that's not great for hard boards.
No.
It can injure them and the board butlers and everyone else. So
thank you so much for reminding me of what I was saying. So basically, Brendan wanted this race to be over 12 hours, obviously for the endurance aspect, but also to challenge people. Those tides are going to change within that 12-hour period, and he really wanted people to be aware of that, and how, he's constantly trying to teach people about tides, safety, wind, the weather, how to paddle safely, and this is part of it, isn't it? It's learning about this tide that will be changing throughout that 12-hour race.
Exactly, and obviously if we're sat on a beach we see the tide going in and out, but water's also moving left to right and so on.
Absolutely.
And you've got the interaction against the wind and so on, so there's quite a lot to be experiencing during a
Well done, Vanessa. How's it going?
Doing really well.
Brutal. That's what we like. Treacherous and brutal. That's why we love SUP racing. But she's loving it, she said, so that's really, really good.
Brutal, I'm loving it. That's one of the quotes for the day.
You don't very often hear those words together, do you? So welcome to Gary and Lisa and Paul and Tam Smith, Sarah Lucas. Thank you so much for watching. You've got the board butlers going down there. Two small Brendan boys there. You've got Marie Buchanan, who is coming in here, having her board held. So the boards now are not able to be left on the beach. They are having to be held by the board butlers because of the tide is so far in that. Well done, young man. How's it going? Yes. Well done, Marie. Marie's loving it. She probably would like it to be a little bit more upwind, downwind. That's her favourite. So, yep. Yeah. So the water is right up now to this concrete path. So, whoops. So yes, you can see that boards are having to be held by those board butlers. And we've got Paul Simmons coming in here now again. This means he'll be going out on lap 9. This must be his lap 8.
Yeah, that's right.
Gosh. So I was going to have a little look while we're talking about laps, if anybody is interested, from last year. And oh, well done, Vera.
Yeah.
Good job. How's it going? Good girl. Well done, Paul. Paul's sprinting, no messing about with him. So last year, let me have a look at the information. So it's funny because I was just thinking about how many laps they've done already in such a short time. Do we think records are going to be broken?
Well, because of the shortened laps last year, I think that would be difficult. But I guess we'll get an idea at the halfway
Paul's on
point.
7 within 2.5 hours.
Yeah, but I don't know whether I mentioned this before, Sarah, but it's
It's
a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, everybody have another drink.
yeah,
That's the rule.
yeah.
Every time
Skip if
Simon
you're
mentions... No, he's gone to bed.
Yeah, he's gone to bed already. So, question from Paul. So, there will be quite a walk when the tide's out. Yeah, absolutely. And it was kind of where we started, really, wasn't it?
It was where we started. I wonder whether it's actually even a little bit further out.
Yeah.
So it will be a long walk, and that will be coming obviously later in the day, later in the event. It will be quite a brutal race. You've got a couple of people with dodgy knees here, I know that. And to get off your board, having been in quite a, it's quite a battle on the water and that side chop and side wind, and then having to get off and then up and then climb up this step. I mean, this step is that little wooden step.